Hello, 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 everyone. How are all of you? Hopefully, you're all doing well. So, today we're doing the visual novel Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim. So, that's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, looks about right. So today it's certainly been a day. Certainly been a weekend. A lot of news going on. A lot of controversies on the good old interwebs. Wake up on the beach, soaking wet, salt water singing the inside of your throat as if you'd nearly drowned. Water falls from your mouth as you open it to gasp for air. You have no memory of how you got here. In fact, you don't remember your own name, not where you came from, or a single fact about your life. What you do know is that despite the outrageous beauty of the landscape around you, you feel incredibly sick to your stomach. Wow, really went down the wrong pipe, huh? You need a minute. Or can I go on? Huh? Because I can give you a minute. I've got plenty of time. Endless time. Really. An eternity if you catch my drift. Whoa, not now, Ocean. Sorry, Lucian. May I continue? Please go on. Okay then. As I was. As I was saying. You look down at your feet, ankle deep in the crystal blue water of a newly arrived wave. As the water recedes back into the ocean, it reveals a grotesque discovery. Yeah? A decomposing face stares up at you from beneath the sand. All you can do is vomit a stream of dark bile bugs, worms, and other ick. Questions race through your mind. Where are you? How did you get here? Who is behind this incredibly charming and well spoken voice in your head? However, answers don't come easy. Your mind is completely blank. What will you do? Huh. What shall we do here? Should we run? Should we close our eyes? Or should we dig up that face? Oh, what shall we do? Pour myself a drink while waiting to see if we get any suggestions in chat. If no suggestions, we will roll a dice and see what happens. Drink has been made sufficiently. Rolled a perfect 20. So, close our eyes. Close your eyes. This must be a nightmare, right? This is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening. The mantra centers you, and you're briefly able to find peace. The lapping waves go silent, and for the first time in your entire life, it feels like you're in control. When you open your eyes, you're in the exact same place, except now the disgusting corpse face is smiling at you. It's got a coin too. Even the dead have wondrous time on our island. I promise you will too. Don't worry, you're going to do just fine. We wouldn't want anyone else. Well, that sure was weird. That voice again. Do oceans normally talk? Your memory isn't right. But you're pretty sure you remember learning as a child that oceans do not speak directly to people in spooky terms. Your mind doesn't have a chance to linger any longer on your current situation as you feel something soft bump into your foot. When you look down, you find a volleyball sitting in the sand there next to you. You stare down, frozen. A voice calls out from behind you. Little help, please. You turn around, and you see what's waiting for you. Your jaw just about hits the ground. Four gorgeous monsters stand halfway between you and a well-tended volleyball court. Each of them oozes with undead energy, a magical aura reaching out and penetrating you via your eyes. Well, I mean, even supernatural monsters need a vacation now and then. I mean, personally, I would rather go somewhere colder, but, I mean, hey, magical creepy beaches, that's fine too. Your heart begins to race. Curiosity, fear, desire. You can't help but stare at these casually dressed, let's call them killers. I don't know, not to be judgmental, but that's just the energy they put out there. So many competing feelings rush through your mind at once that you are completely paralyzed. I mean, Huntress and whoever this is, they both look awesome. Not sure which killers these two are either. But I mean, he looks amazing as well. Not sure how I feel about him. The blood on the hands over here just kind of irks me. So many competing feelings rush through your mind at once that you are completely paralyzed. Hello? The Trapper. Which one said that? There are weird days, and then there's this. All you can do is look down the ball and back up the monstrous lineup of, well, literal monsters. Sexy-ass monsters, though. Three of them? Three out of the four? Yes, I very much agree. I mean, I normally don't compliment guys on their looks. I mean, if I were, he'd definitely be more to my taste. What shall we do? Oh, what shall we do? Let's roll that dice and see what comes up. Got a 6. Foot and awkwardly strike the volleyball, sending it bouncing across the sand towards Huntress. It doesn't make it all the way. Everyone stares at you, silently observing your unsportsmanlike shame. I was wondering, have you ever even seen a volleyball before? That's really what I'm wondering right now. It's not a soccer ball. What a dork. Feels so awkward that you can barely see straight. Through the haze of your embarrassment, you catch Wraith looking at you from the corner of your eye. Huntress jogs the rest of the way to grab the volleyball. They all turn and head back to the court. So that's Wraith. That's the guy with the bell and the mummy wrappings. Alone again, you look across the beach at these strange residents who casually bat a volleyball back and forth, happily ignoring your intrusion onto their private beach. Should you be frightened? Worried? Excited? I did refer to them as killers, not to give too much away. But, at the same time, damn, they are looking very appealing in their own way. And nobody so much as lifted a blood-soaked finger in your direction. Don't be scared, Illusion. You were made for this. Well, geez, if the spooky ocean voice says not to be scared, I'm sure it's all going to work out. With no good reason not to, you decide to head over and see what happens next. Seems like you've derailed the volleyball game just by showing up. You derailed the game just showing up, nitwit. And I guess you're also a nitwit. Look, it's best to just go with what Trapper says when he says it. That's a policy I hold for pretty much anyone who always seems to have fresh blood on their hands. The spirit. Hey, don't worry about it. It's all just a game. Existence, that is. Besides, you seem a lot more interesting than a silly game. What's your deal? What brings you here? You mean they're here to do more than distract from my total domination? That was Wraith. That's how he means he was done with the game too. Either that, or he saw a butterfly, or something. Look, I don't care why this slack-jawed moron is here. I want to know, can I kill them or not? You know you can't. At least not yet. Oh yeah? Not yet? You might want to, say something. Actually, never mind. There'll be plenty of time for that soon enough. Right now, this group has some questions for you. But be warned, answer quickly and answer well. This is a time quiz and will be very important later. Very important. Or more not important anyway whatsoever. Probably that one. I can't remember. How drunk would you say you are? I'd go with average. I'm pretty average, I think. Just another face in the crowd. Another normal, meaningless life in an endless cycle. I think you're quite cute myself. Like a chipmunk or a grizzly bear. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Out of those three? Flight. Flight, for sure. Technically, I suppose I can fly. Honestly, it's not all that's cracked up to be as far as it go. I'm still not where I want to be. What's your best subject in school? Out of those, history. I wasn't bad at math. History? Nice. It's important to know what came before us, that we are not doomed to repeat humanity's mistakes. I mean, we always will anyways, but still. What's your favorite animal? Ooh. Dogs, both dogs and cats are cool. I've got no idea what a mustelid is, but we'll go with the cat. Definitely a cat. What? Why does everyone look at me? You think just because I'm the typical cute goth girl I have some specific love of all things cats, and more specifically black cats? Well, I do, but you can all go to hell anyway. What's your favorite color? Um, 3-day-old corpse. We'll go with red. Some call it the color of love, but love is just another word for pain. What's your dream job? Neither of those, so we'll go with not working at all. You get to do what we really want, why work at all? It takes a lot of courage to break free from society's expectations to climb the ladder. I wish you could spend laziness in some kind of grand crusade. These damned millennials. Best flavor of ice cream. Not that one. Chocolate. My favorite flavor is pain. Same. Same here. Mine is vanilla, swirled with pain. I think mint chip is the greatest flavor I've ever received myself, but enough about ice cream, am I right? Mint chip is pretty good. I would prefer it over chocolate or vanilla. Now, a mint chocolate chip is just amazing, though. Hold on a second. This reminds me. I am right, always. It's a lesson you should learn before we go too much further. Do what I say if you want to survive. Pick mint chip. We're teaching lessons now, narrator? You rascal. Kill or be killed is the rule on this island, even for faceless voices. Tell me, what's the best flavor of ice cream? Best flavor is mint chip. So obedient. I think you're going to do just fine. Anywho, now that they know so much about you, I'm sure the group wants you to start getting to know them. I'm Trapper. I pretty much run things around here. I'm the smartest, richest, strongest person on this whole island. Well, I could care less how rich you are. And strength, I don't care either. I don't like losers. If you want to know what a loser is, say hello to Wraith. Hi, I'm Wraith. I'm nothing like everyone else. I like nice, peaceful people and loathe big, dumb idiots. Hey, what's up? I'm Spirit. I don't like most things. I don't really hate most things either. It's not worth my time. The thing I do hate, I really hate, you know. Based on my personal observations, life is nothing but suffering. And society is a carefully calculated lie to keep everyone subservient to those in power. It's better to choose just not take part. Jesus, like she was downright murdered by society. She hates it so much. Oh, no, wait. I'm remembering Spirit's story now, and that's almost exactly what happened. Hey, I'm Huntress. Don't let these bummers get you down. There's lots of fun to be had on this island, along with lots of love. Yeah, there is, if you know what I mean. Grow up. Grow a body. I've explained this 1,000 times. I'm dead, but I'm not a literal ghost. I just create a trail of fog. I'm not made of it. Whatever, fog body. So cruel. That's not nice. He's not nice. You love it. Only sometimes. Ooh, really? That's disgusting. That's why she likes it. Don't speak for me, I also hate it. Stop speaking entirely, actually. The first time ever I agree with Wraith. Let's move on, otherwise they'll do this all day. Besides, you knew this crew, and I do. I want to show off soon enough. If we're done playing, let's do something else instead. Wow, for once I actually agree with the meathead. I say we go to my yacht. It's a massive boat docked nearby. I'll give everyone a taste of true luxury and power. Wraith rolls his eyes. Don't mind him. He just hates fun and happiness. No, I hate endless, desperate, soul-crushing pursuit of wealth, the way it's flaunted needlessly and the cruelty it engenders. What about hanging by the pool? I find the water calming, simple, beautiful. Hey, what about our volleyball game? We can exercise and have some fun as a group. Are you serious? There's a perfectly good lounge to chill out at, right here. I'm tired. Besides, I hate being in the sun. Yes, I very much agree with that last statement of Sun. Where do you want to go? So that's the yacht. That's the volleyball game. I'm guessing that's the pool. That's the lounge. Rich, pretentious. Exercise and sun. Sun and water. Alcohol. Let's go with alcohol. It'd be great to relax for a second at the lounge. To kick up your feet, look out over the ocean, and relax on your own terms. Who would want anything else? Dry, comfortable, enjoying a cool drink on a hot day? It's the best. I mean, what kind of fool, what kind of monster, what kind of mask-wearing psychopath would finally be granted a break from the constant grind of chasing and fighting to get ahead, and then choose to exert themselves in, quite frankly, any way whatsoever? Why am I the only one who gets it? It's time to stop living by their rules. I won't do it any longer. Yeah, we should probably give her a second to calm down. Hold on for just one moment. This is Dwight and Claudette, our activities coordinators. They're also cooks, waiters, bartenders, janitors, and every other job. They're the only help remaining on the island. Probably because those four murdered everyone else. Why did those two help? This place we call Murderer's Island. Cue dramatic musical flourish. None of the others survived. Survived the interview process, I mean. Hence why we shall heretofore refer to them as survivors with a capital S. These two have worked here for a long time. So very long, I don't actually know how long it's been. Sorry, anyway, I should probably let Dwight and Claudette do their mandated jobs. They sure look happy, but they're vibrating with a nervous energy that is starting to give me the creeps. We will now escort the group to the venue of your choosing. However, in the future, we recommend waiting for us to present you with your options whenever possible, and don't just run off to various activities unsupervised. We don't have much autonomy around here. The least you can do is allow us to do our job. The most you can do is help us get off this Dwight? Yes, pardon me. Please follow us. Hey, narrator? Yes, something I can help you with. Those two, Claudette and Dwight, did they just start to mention something about wanting to escape? Is escape an option? Should I be trying to escape? Escape? Them? Oh, no. I think you're mistaken. It seemed like Dwight was asking for help to get off this island, though. Oh, right, that. Yes, that's true. He was. But just he meant that he wants to get to the other vacation island getaway, a couple miles south of here. It has much fancier accommodations than this island. It's one of those big corporate outfits, quite exclusive, where all the famous celebrities hang out. Very luxurious. Doesn't quite have the charm that this island has, though. Trust me, you won't want to go there. With all that money comes a lot of restrictions. This is where you belong. Now, off you go. It's time for an activity. On this island, your decisions matter. Mostly. When I agree with them. Not like that other island. So, what'll it be? I'm still going to go with the bar. Finally, freedom from the preposterous premise that the four of us would be engaged in some sort of thrilling 2-on-2 volleyball match. Spirit looks at you from beneath her gigantic sun hat. She takes a conspiratorial tone. I don't know whose idea of volleyball was in the first place, but I hate them. I tried to feign a sprained ankle, but everyone already knows that I technically float above the ground, so nobody believed I was even putting any pressure on my joints in the first place. Then I tried to annoy everyone by not giving a crap. And when that didn't work, I tried whining. And when that didn't work, I threatened to kill every single person on this island. But turns out, I'm not the first one to toss those kinds of threats around on this island. So, thanks. I guess for getting it called off. Are we threatening to end each other again? Now it's Dwight who takes on a conspiratorial tone, his eyes shifting as he slips into a loud whisper. Please, just make it quick. Is what you'll be saying when we get behind the bar to make you the drink of your dreams. Aww. Hilarious, right? Right, Dwight? Yeah, right. So what will you be having? Ooh, vodka soda. Sangria? Scotch rocks? Virgin daiquiri? There's no alcohol in that one. What's the dice say? An 8. So, Virgin daiquiri it is. And come here to party. I'm just trying to make the best of a very strange situation. I don't know how about a daiquiri. I know how to make that. But skip the liquor. I'll have mine virgin. Trapper snickers at your choice of words. Sure you will, kid. Don't mind him. We don't need to soak ourselves in booze just to please someone else's expectations. If you ask me, there's enough spirits here already. Besides, alcohol just numbs you to the painful realities of the world. I choose to face them head on. You'd never do something like that. I don't know, hide from it all behind the world's largest hat or anything. Please allow me to ignore any fashion advice from the man wearing a doll's face as a mask. It's supposed to be a doll's face? Huh. Okay. Teach their own. Not a doll's face, jerk. Since I cannot get a hillbilly accent right, son of a bitch. Since we fulfilled your request, it's time for you to return the favor. Should have known there was a catch. Icebreaker time. I swear, had I known they'd pull this kind of faux enthusiastic community building crap, I would suggest we attempt to walk to the lowest point of the ocean before I ever set foot near this bar. You don't think it'd be kind of fun? A little fun? Never mind. I hate it. This sucks. But it could be fun. Whatever you say. Has anyone seen my hat? I've literally never seen him in a hat. If we must make small talk, I'm at least picking a topic before we end up being forced to do some lame improv game that nerds learn at their non-sports after-school activities that I definitely never did because I'm no nerd. Methinks a certain someone doth protest too much. Sitting here on this beautiful sunny afternoon, warm sand beneath the cool fog beneath my severed feet. The topic I choose is books, novels, comics, fiction or non. Reading is the only real escape from the inescapable horror of life. The escape into your own mind. I actually have to very much agree. Groan rolls through the crowd. Not a lot of readers here, I imagine. Based on that response, they were much more enthusiastic about drinking. Considering the situation we're in, it seems an appropriate time to ask you. Lucian, what's your desert island book? One book you'd bring with you if you were, well, on an island like this. Oh, and it has to be classic horror, for reasons that should be obvious. Which means because this is an island of horror villains, and also those books are all in the public domain. Nothing too modern. Humanity has really gotten soft these past 100 years. So what's your favorite? Ooh. Definitely not the books, no thanks. Because usually, anytime I go on vacation, I usually head to a bookstore first. Or, well, I used to. Now I just go buy a bunch of books on Kindle first. And I get a stack of books. Depending on... I usually grab one to two books per day. And these are actual novels. So we're talking somewhere between 300 and 800 pages books. If it's an 800-page book, that's just for one day. 300, that means I'm usually probably buying 2. And I will spend most of my time lounging around somewhere, reading said books. Now, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that's an interesting one. All about the dichotomy of the good and bad in us all, and Frankenstein's another interesting one. the depths of depravity one may go on in the search of science, our ability to communicate and interact and understand that which is foreign to us, the giving in to baseless fears about the unknown. And then there's Dracula, which really and honestly is the only one that I don't think has any kind of moral, ethical, or philosophical message to it. It's just straight horror. Now, considering her lack of wanting society, and she obviously very much loves books, I'll go with Dracula here. Dracula's one classic that's still scary. To be seduced by some beautiful stranger only to learn later on that they're an immortal villain. It's downright thrilling. Well, I guess, but I was going to say that despite the deviant behavior of Dracula and the threat of possible danger and death that he poses, you can't help but get turned on by the liberation of the status quo that he represents. Same here? So if some old doctor says he's a bad boy, you're supposed to reek like garlic and sleep alone? Who do they think would buy into that? If you're going to be trapped in the nightmare that is undead life eternal, which I know a little something about, you can do a lot worse than great clothes, a castle, and a lover who doesn't take shit from anyone. The scariest part of Dracula is thinking that no one will ever be quite as interesting to make love to as a vampire. Enough about these old stories that belong to someone else. I think it's time to make up some new stories of our own. Before you know what's going on, Huntress is waving an empty vodka bottle in the air, a devilish twinkle in her half-mask covered eye. Might I suggest something a little naughty? Let's all get in a circle and spin this bad boy. Great idea. Trickster isn't a bit late to introduce a new character. That's the one who gets to make the rules, so I'm not sure who I'm asking. But I wasn't ready for this. Well, hello. And who is this new fan in the waiting? Beat it, hack. I don't know what's the harm in inviting one more person to join the circle for a game. Oh, I can't say. I was just saying it's a great idea. I'm also teasing the secret Trickster ending. I've got much better things to do than hang out here. I'm famous. Toodaloo. The rules are simple. First you spin, then you swap. Spit, that is. But let's be clear, this ain't a peep show. We're here to have a good time, but in a classy way. As all makeouts will happen out of the view of the public eye. Real romantic like. Yes, romance is the goal. So we'll all be waiting here in complete silence, trying to listen in and use our imaginations while you make out on the other side of the bar, but not watching. Like adults. Romantic, well-adjusted adults. Wait, I'm supposed to be a well-adjusted adult? No one ever told me this. Illusion, you're up. You grip the bottle in your hand and put your fate in the hands of the empty bottle gods. Minigames consist of two parts. On top, a pointer, which rotates in a clockwise direction. And on the bottom, a target you're going to be pointing at. This here upcoming minigame is a special minigame. Perfect for the less coordinated because there is no winning or losing. Well, not technically. Whenever the pointer stops, that's your result. I suppose if it doesn't stop where you want it to, that's a bit like losing, but no one has to know if you don't tell them. Okay, ready to play, or would you like me to repeat that? Ready? Away we go. Spin the bottle and see who you're going to smooch. You got Huntress. You two are meant to be. Psych, you have to actually spend multiple times to get your real result. First, to get to 3 times is your true match. That's how we play hardcore spin the bottle on this here island. Now get your spin on. You got Huntress. You got Wraith. Huntress again. You got Huntress. Huntress is your true match. Oh. Just this morning you were waking up on a strange beach surrounded by strangers with murderous intent. Now you're looking across the beach to tell Huntress, lust in her eyes, sweat glistening on her skin. Your heart races, you can feel your pulse pounding in your ears. Huntress takes you by the hand and you sit face to face at a private section of the bar. She wants to reach for you, putting her hands on your shoulders. You're sweating, but not in the sexy way she is. You're sweating in the gross way you'd sweat at the interview for a job you're not even remotely qualified for. You don't know what to do. If you try and lock lips in this state, you might gross her out so completely that she'll never be able to look at you romantically again. Huntress, you, we... I'm sorry, but I can't kiss you right now. What? You're relieved, but also maybe a little hurt? It's not you. Well, it is you, but in a good way. I think you're great, maybe too great. I don't trust easily, and I'm afraid of what it might mean to connect with you so early. It's not that I don't want to, I just don't think it's the right thing right now. I understand. Amazing, but also understand this. If you tell anyone I got so soft, I'll break you in half. Okay? I'll tell them you almost chewed my whole face clean off. Oh, I like that. I hate to break up such a passionate moment that we only assume was passionate because we never spy on you constantly while you stay on this island. But dinner's being served right away, and we must insist that you join us. We won't want anyone dying of starvation when there are so many more interesting things to die from. True. Seems like the next activity is mealtime. How quaint. We're expecting what? Capture the flag? Do you know how complicated it is to run a game like that? Much more so than sitting and talking. You arrived at the cookout area to find an assortment of picnic tables scattered around. What are you expecting? Some kind of grand hall with a huge banquet table? This ain't some prestigious fantasy epic like you'd find on cable. Dwight and Claudette usher you to your seat, but there's very limited seating directly around you. And oh, great, terrific. It seems that everyone wants to sit next to you. Even better is that they don't want to sit next to certain other people either. To start, no one wants to sit next to Trapper. Meanwhile, he refuses to sit next to Wraith or Trickster. Oh yeah, Trickster's here. Surprise? Well, they don't call him expected, sir. I'm sorry, even I get nervous around crowds of killers, and my whole shtick gets a little flustered. Hey there, you're looking good, real good. As we literally can't let Hunters and Trappers sit together. No, seriously, their arms are too big. They can't fit at the table to sit side by side. Look at this. We can't fit everyone on screen at the same time. You probably think it was an error, but it's not. It was completely intentional. Let that be a lesson to you. Every error you think you see is a choice. Got that? Okay, Dwight and Claudette are directing traffic. You sit on one side, the rest of them will sit opposite you. Hunters and Trapper can sit at the ends with their enormous, sexy arms. Now that everyone's seated, we can begin dinner. Tonight's meal was prepared slowly and carefully with both love and hate for 12 hours over a spit. We hope you all enjoy. We really, really hope you do. Hey, you didn't actually tell us what you're serving. What are we eating? It's meat. Seasoned with a specific number of special herbs and spices that we simply can't divulge. My favorite. Meat is good. Meat is murder. But you know, considering what you've been up to. Who are you to get judgy now? I'm just sharing facts. And you need to murder someone to eat its meat. So that's like technically true. Technically true is the best kind of true. Okay, enough yapping. Let's eat. Hey, Illusion, you thinking what I'm thinking? It's gonna be a person on that spit, right? Or several parts of overlapping people, perhaps. I haven't seen many pigs wearing palm tree button-down prints, you know. When you look closely at the spit, you spot what definitely appears to be the scraps of fabric sandwiched between some layers of meat. I think I might be sick. Is there anything else to eat? This took 12 hours. And we do literally everything on this island. Actually, there's one thing you're not doing today. You're not carving up this delectable meal. Well, he's right for a change, because I am with my broadaxe. It's the perfect tool for easily chopping anything in twain. First, who says twain? Sometimes I swear it's like we're all from completely different historical eras. Second, I'll handle this with my cleaver. Fast, powerful, and clean. At least it's clean when the meat is cooked. No blood. Oh, you two are ridiculous bicep swinging contests enough. Enough. Grow up. Obviously, my gorgeous katana is the only option. Obs. The hell it is. I'll show you both my katanas into actual hell if you'd like. Please stop. Please. I hate when we fight. Or talk. Or even when we look at each other in the eye. I can do it. I have the Skull of Azarov. Great. Instead of slicing it up, you can club it to a second death. Hey, Illusion, I know that this isn't what you want to eat, but hurry up and volunteer to carve up Felix. I mean, dinner. Otherwise, this will go on for hours. No hyperbole. They once argued over who had the most effective weapons for 72 straight hours. And it doesn't matter which one doesn't. When they're done, they will take even longer cleaning their weapon, all while explaining the value in maintaining their tools. Despite being a bunch of cold-blooded killers, for some reason, they're always terrified of tetanus. Hey, why don't you just let me carve up dinner? Splendid idea. We'd hate for it to get cold. He hated when it got cold. Here's a machete, freshly sharpened. Okay, ready to play? Would you like me to repeat that? Ready. Away we go. Slice. Not bad. Perfect. Perfect. You missed completely. Missed completely. That's very good. I'd like to see what you can do with a less clumsy weapon. Yeah, I said it. Machetes are dumb. Dinner is finally served. For real. The sounds, especially coming from the masked killers while they eat, which involves lifting their masks and shoving food up behind them, are nasty. Spirit, meanwhile, doesn't even eat. She's the only one who seems to really be embracing being dead. They're all dead, right? This is obviously hell. I mean... Come on, we're still trying to be mysterious here. You think mystery comes easy? Claudette and Dwight aren't the only ones who've been working their asses off to make this night perfect. Well, at least they're lifting their masks. This is only 99% as disgusting as it could be if they just tried to mash something through here. Spirit, why aren't you hungry? The two best things about being dead is not having to eat. That's only one thing. Think about it. Number two is no number two. One less thing to think about in the afterlife. If I want to eat, I have no idea what would actually follow. You might have noticed, but I'm mostly just a bunch of dismembered body parts floating in a spectral form. Do you see how deep this cut in my abdomen is? I don't think any digestive tract connects anymore. Between the food and the behavior of the group, this might be the worst meal in history. But even worse is, they're staring at you. You're not eating. They don't like that. I think they want an explanation why. What do you want to tell them? Huh. This is gross. I'm sorry. Look at that seagull. Top answer is probably a bad one. We'll go look at that seagull. Well, you ever see a seagull that big? I haven't. That's incredible. Anyway, what were we talking about? Lame misdirect. Yeah, she's right, Illusion. Pretty lame. Own who you are. Never compromise. Didn't you wash up on the island with no memory who you are and how you got here? Yes, you did. Poor thing. You have no idea the last time you ate a real meal. You've been standing in the sun. Dan knows who was talking there. But the seagull? Uh-oh, he just made a lot of good points. I swear. You're beginning to feel lightheaded. It waved at me. Maybe you need to eat to survive here. Either that, or someone poisoned you. No, wait, you haven't eaten, so you can't be poisoned. Whatever the answer, you're clearly about to pass out. Oh, hey. It's me again. Your friend, mentor, and guide. Narrator to the narrator. The ocean. Not sure how I feel about that characterization, but I'll allow it. I brought you here, and I might be the only one who can help you now. There's only one thing you must do to survive. You have to figure out why you're really here. No one can tell you, not unless you follow the right path, or at least a right path. There's too many of those to count. Hopefully, you pick at least one of them, because there are even more wrong paths. Many of them lead to your demise. Others lead to something even worse. Starting scenes over and having to fast forward back to where you were. Am I right? For this place holds many secrets, even from itself. But the one that truly matters can only be learned if you answer the most important question. Why are you here? Why are you here? Answer that, and you will learn the truth. The ultimate truth. Vague, mysterious. I gotta give it up to this ocean character. That's some quality early game storytelling. You wake up to find Spirit holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Don't you just love the ocean at night? I do. Staring out over the vast darkness of the ocean really validates the feelings inside me that we're all truly insignificant, and the only thing worth pursuing is revenge. I mean, there's other valid pursuits, but revenge is one. I have to wonder, how could anyone believe in anything else? You look out into the darkness of night and ponder her question. Well, it's a simple question. How could they? How could anyone not feel small and alone in the face of such massive nothingness? You've always been alone, haven't you? Maybe it's Spirit's words, maybe it's the ocean, or maybe it has always been this way, but you suddenly feel connected to Spirit's words. I may not remember much about my life before, but there's one thing I know to be true. I've always been alone. And for the most part, I have. I have occasional friends here and there that thankfully I get to talk to, which gets me from going completely insane. But, for the most part, I generally feel alone. And I always will be alone. And that's kind of the fear of mine. I fear I will always be alone. Spirit has turned from looking at the ocean and is looking directly at you now. It's a funny idea, isn't it? Being alone. Together? It's the best we can hope for. Maybe. Or maybe it's too much to hope for. Maybe it's impossible. To pretend we know anything. Is that just arrogance? I was so dumb. So busy trying to please everyone and be the perfect student, the perfect employee, the perfect daughter. I didn't take care of myself, and now I'm all I've got. Worst of all, I got distracted from my true purpose, my destiny, the purpose that was sitting inside me my whole life. Okay, so this might sound a bit silly, but Spirit looks around to see if there's anyone else on the beach. Once she's convinced that it's only you two, she continues. There's a dragon that lives inside me. I've always known, but I've tried to ignore it. When I couldn't ignore it, I tried to push it down. I'm so stupid. You're not stupid. That sounds badass. It actually kind of does. Right? I didn't let it out, and then I, chop chop. And now the dragon is pretty much a one-track revenge beast. But enough about me. What's inside of you, stranger? I'd kill to have a dragon. Maybe not the best choice of words. I mean, a dragon sounds awesome. Honestly, though, I don't feel like I've got anything inside me at all. Just darkness. Never-ending darkness. And here I thought Spirit was the biggest goth on the island until you arrived. Perhaps I could light a torch and search through that darkness? Just things are really heating up. You hear a flurry of footsteps behind you, and you quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever new danger has popped up on this strange island. Only to find that's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air above their heads. It's very important that we stick to the itinerary and attend to each event as scheduled. Playing sick for cute flirt points was not part of this evening's activities. That's strictly slotted in for after campfire story time. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No, no time for excuses. Well, there is, but that's good for after what comes after the flirting. Go, 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 go! Once everyone is gathered at the fire pit, Dwight and Claudette quickly make an announcement. We're not going to blame anyone in particular, but someone, and we're not going to say who, so don't worry. You hasn't been sticking to the schedule. That means that we're behind on time for evening activities, and we'll only have time for one person to share their spooky nighttime story. Just one story, but storytime is my favorite activity. This is a narrative-heavy experience. You're telling us that only one person gets to share? How will we decide who? Oh, great. We have to decide as a group. That never goes well. Whoever did this, step up now. I swear I won't be angry. I'm really chopping your head clean off. No fuss, no muss. Voice trembling, you realize it's probably it for you, but you embrace your fate. Sorry, everyone. I think they're talking about me, to be honest. I still don't understand how this whole schedule thing works. I guess I lost track of time while I was passed out. Been there before, even though it's taking some pressure off of me, which is an absolute dream come true. Is it really fair to pick on the newbie? Seriously, has anything here ever happened on schedule? Even once? Damn it, Donald, if you try to flex that authority gimmick one more time, so help me, I'll snap your head off so quick and I'll drown you in his blood, Cynthia. Fuss and mustard back on. You two know I love to hack, slash, and slice. We all know how you love to kill. It's almost all you talk about. Nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. I renounce my name. Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who even knows anymore? Call me nobody. But we gotta get started on story time. So, Illusion, who do you think should go? Aw, damn it, that's a name. Please pick somebody quickly so that this vacation doesn't turn into a bloodbath. So far, I'm really liking Spirit. So that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Spirit. I choose you, Spirit. Whoa. This entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with the catchphrases, will you? Really? You want to hear it from me? Spirit huffs and dramatically rolls her eyes as she gets to her feet in front of the campfire. Don't let her talk you out of it. She's great with ghost stories. I don't know where she gets it. but she comes up with the scariest stuff. Seriously disturbing, even to me. I literally pulled a guy's skull and spine out once with my bare hands. Talk about bullshit stories. If everyone else is going to chit-chat, I guess I can just sit down and... Huntress's eyes go red behind her mask, and both Trapper and Wraith take their seat. They know when it's worth fighting, and when it's not. Well, I hate to break it to you, but tonight's story isn't scary. It's a romance. Too late now, though. I was selected, and so I'm going to tell my story. I call it The Prisoner's Kiss. You notice that Huntress and Wraith are both sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Nobody offered you popcorn. It was a dark summer night. Warm rain seeped from the sky like blood from an old wound. Detective Hada, a celebrated investigator and renowned hostage negotiator, was called to the scene of a strange occurrence, unlike anything she had ever seen before. When she arrived, the scene was chaotic. Crowds had begun to gather. A dozen other officers were doing everything they could to keep curious onlookers away. But how could anyone resist wanting to know more? For there, in the middle of a busy market, had appeared a giant box, strange, alien in its appearance, and massive in size. No one knew how it got there. Was it delivered? Built on site? In such a busy area? How could something like that just appear? A mystery. It was as if conjured by magic. But this was no illusion. The huge box was very real, and someone was trapped inside. Spirit pauses her story to look from face to face of each audience member. She has no expression, but you feel her vibrating with energy. She's in her element. "Help me," cried someone inside the box. It was a man, terrified, trapped, imprisoned, his voice trembling. But now, it was as if every detective in the city was there, looking the strange structure up and down, inspecting it on every side. It didn't make sense. There were no doors, no windows, no fasteners or seams. It was completely solid, and much too heavy to move by hand. Solid, that is, except for a single, small slit. Just enough to see the bloodshot eyes of the prisoner trapped inside. I don't know what happened. I woke up and here I was. I'm so scared. Please help me, cried the man as if pleading for his life. No stranger to tense situations, Detective Hoda comforted the man. She used her training to calm him and buy time for other investigators. However, time did not bring clarity, only anxiety, as the night dragged on with no progress opening the box. And as the night grew longer, the seeping rain puddling on the ground, the man inside grew more desperate, more saddeningly, more pathetic and in need of help. But Detective Hada was no help at all, powerless to save him. Guilt began to weigh on her like it never had before. "Don't let me die in here," the man begged. "Don't let me die alone." "Stay calm," instructed Detective Hoda. "You're not alone. I'm here. Hell, half the town is here. We're all in this together, and we won't let this be the end of your story." Looking through that narrowest of passageways, Detective Hoda watched her own reflection in the tear-filled eyes of the strange, sad prisoner. Together they both wept in silence at the helplessness of the moment. "Promise?" asked the man. "Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised, "I do." A simple pledge. She felt an instant connection like she had never felt before. Not to her family, not to her friends, not to any of the other hostages she had ever worked so hard to free before. And so, when the man's eyes closed and backed away, it didn't scare Detective Hoda, for she knew he would return. And he did, pressing his lips up to the narrow slit in this horrible puzzle box. Repeating his question again, steam flowing from his mouth as he asked, "Promise? Promise that I'm not alone?" "Yes," she promised, "I do." And pressing her palms against the cold outside the box, without truly knowing why, Detective Hada leaned forward and placed her own lips up to the opening, letting her breath creep into this strange structure, allowing her warm lips to fall on this man's. It was a gentle kiss, a moment of compassion. She could feel in this brief contact the beating of her heart, pulsing blood through every inch of her body, matched beat for beat in this soft touch. "Thank you," said the man, no trace of fear remaining in his voice, and he backed away into the darkness, disappearing in a single moment of eerie calmness. "Get back!" yelled an officer, suddenly thrusting himself between Detective Hada and the box, breaking a silence that would soon be filled by a cacophony of whirring gears and clicking latches. A symphony of mechanical activity happening all at once. Something had triggered as if an unseen lever pulled, and the side of the giant box began to slide open. Detective Hada gripped her flashlight tightly and pushed forward into the foggy interior of the giant box. Her feet splashed in the puddled rainwater, her heart racing as she swept her light from side to side. And that's when her eyes landed on the man. Or at least, landed on what should have been him. There, in the corner of the box, was a pile of pieces, like parts of a doll, almost pulled apart. Or perhaps this is how Detective Hada had to think of them in that moment to survive. A collection of segments, limbs, pieces, disconnected from one another, cleanly severed in place in a neat little pile. On top of that pile, a head. Cold, pale, eyes open, lips an icy blue. Spirit stares at the fire, her own expression lifeless, her lips blue. Tears fall from her chin and soak into the sand at her feet. You're blown away by the story, and it's safe to say you're not alone. Everyone else is looking into the fire or up the sky, anywhere but at Spirit. It was you who chose her, you who initiated this harrowing tale. So sad, so creepy, so sensual? You really went into great detail when it came to describing that kiss. Too much detail, and now no one is sure to act. Dwight and Claudette are staring daggers at you. You have to do something. This game was supposed to be a lighthearted romp. Please, I said do something. Without saying anything, approached Spirit, reaching her arms around her for a hug. Her robe, hovering in the air, begins to wrap itself around you and squeeze you into her. It's kind of like being hugged back, but also like being tied up. It's certainly not what you expected. Instinctually, you pull yourself away, but it's an awkward moment. You nearly fall over into the fire. Spirit says nothing and floats away without so much as a goodbye. You, meanwhile, realize everyone had just watched this truly strange interaction from the corners of their eyes. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit so that they can all have a moment alone before bed. Everyone leaves and you're alone by the fire. The only thing you hear is the ocean slowly lapping against the shore. This is nice. A true moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all of 7 seconds because Trickster shows up and he's blaring his latest song. "Hey baby, you look lonely. Mind if I join you?" He doesn't wait for an answer. I know you've been hearing from all these guppies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special those in charge of this island don't want you to hear. I'm the ultimate catch on this island, the only lobster in an ocean of sardines. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. Come find me. One moment here. Trickster leaves. You're a bit confused about what to make of his cryptic clues, but you're not going to get any time to yourself to think about them just yet. Spirit approaches you. You know, I was watching you while I told my story. I could tell it's having an effect on you. This fog that follows me around, I could feel you breathing heavily, taking me in. You and I are both absolutely flabbergasted at that piece of information. Legit, you learn something new every day. Even when you're a god. I mean, a narrator. You're doing it again right now. You need to calm down. You should come to the hot tub with me. Dipping in hot tubs with the spirit? You've come a long way in a single day. I'm not saying you should follow her. An offer like that? Just don't forget our little talk. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous shark comes along and manages to jump from the ocean into the pool, you're also pretty sure your killer companion could handle it. I just want to be totally clear. Looks like we're having a momentary issue with stream. Yeah, my internet's still working. Waiting to see if it reconnects here. There we go. It appears to have reconnected. Yep, I see myself over there on the other screen. Let me just make sure. Yeah, my internet's speeds are fine. So I don't know why I freaked out. And it's still freaking out, actually. Getting a lot of frame loss. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to do a few things and try to make sure that everything was working correctly. I'm sorry. I just want to be totally clear. Even though that story bore some similarities to my life, it was not about me in any way, shape, or form. Not symbolically, not metaphorically, not any other ically. I will lower the volume just a little bit. I believe you completely. Sure, you were cut into pieces in your life, so was the person in the story. A perfectly normal coincidence. Sure, you're on this island, trapped one might say, in a most puzzling place. Also, a completely regular coincidence. And sure, his lips were blue, Your lips are blue. Really? You'd call this blue? Searching for answers, hoping to find revenge. Okay, so the similarities stop there, I guess. Coincidences. Sorry, the coincidences. Get this through your head, whoever you are. Samurai blood runs through my veins. Or, well, maybe it has coagulated by now. No need to sweat the details. Regardless, I'm a descendant of noble warriors. Thousands of years of training with bladed weapons preceded my entrance into this world. Do you know how many swords it is? A lot. You've got to figure out that with that many sharp edges, a person's bound to get disconnected from a body part here and there. The truth is, and I wouldn't typically share this, so don't go blabbing about it, I dreamt that story, like watching a movie in my sleep. When I was just a little girl, years before my father sunk his blade into my skin. I've never been able to shake it. That's a very adult story for a child to dream. Do you believe me? Who cares? Who says I believe in anything? And for that matter, who cares what I think? Our beliefs are our business, no one else's. Well, I'll be. That's a strong take. You've got to cultivate your own garden. I just admire you. You're not offering up your thoughts or opinions simply to feed the curiosity of others, like some of the more desperate residents of our little paradise. Good for you, I say. Now, you've got me wondering, do I believe you if you believe her or not? And if I know everything, because trust me, I do know everything, don't I already know how the answer to my own question about if I believe your answer to Spirit's question? Whoa. Ocean air got me tripping. Sorry, I don't mean to distract us both. What's important is that a certain corpsey cutie floating in a cloud of magical mist might still be waiting for you to say the right thing and free her from her puzzle box. If you believe that she is the... Damn it, got me going again. Unfortunately, before you can follow this conundrum to what will surely be a mind-numbing cycle of new questions, you find a certain someone standing before you with a fresh towel ready to dry you off. Sorry, kids, but it's time for bed. I might be the youngest one here, but I'm no kid. I do, however, love being wrapped up in a fresh, clean towel. Isn't that just an amazing feeling, though? Being wrapped up in a fresh, clean towel. Even better if it's just fresh out of the dryer. My mother used to help me wash my hair when I was young. She'd come out all the tangles and tie a ribbon around it before sending me on my way. I miss her. You watch as Spirit stares off into the distance, her hand gripping into tight fists. She doesn't notice you're watching her, at first. When she catches you looking, she turns away, roughly grabs the towel from Dwight, and then pushes him Claudette aside as she floats off. You head over to the campfire. The heat is comforting on this chilly night. Looking into the crackling embers, you think about Spirit's story, about the prisoner in the puzzle box. If you manage to escape this place, will you leave with your life? Or has it already been taken from you? It's just a matter of time until you make a gruesome discovery. Before you can dwell too much on your fate, Claudette and Dwight arrive, their now familiar creepy smile stretching from ear to ear. It's a bit menacing to see a smile like that lit by firelight. We must apologize for the accommodations. We weren't prepared for another guest, but we're going to make you comfortable, or die trying. Hand over a pillow and a blanket and welcome you to snuggle up by the fire. Perhaps some music will put you at ease. Just try to keep the volume to a minimum. Our other guests aren't the types you'll want to rob of their beauty sleep. Ready. Away we go. As you relax and look into the fire, the radio begins to fuzz and flicker. You examine it and decide that you might adjust the dial and fix it. Let's see what's on this station. Let's see who's on this station.
talk about our community. For us, it means two major things. First of all, the community is you out there. It's you and everybody else, either playing the game or talking about the game.
No matter how many things you listen to, you still can't sleep. You decide desperately killers to spend a little more time with you until you're sleepier. Who would you like to summon onto your side as you lay by the fire? Spirit, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. Spirit tells you her secret for falling asleep when she's feeling restless. I like to listen to flute music, dab on some essential oils, and steam my pores. Really? What? Even the dead like to relax. I don't really have any of those things around. Spirit reaches out and presents you with a unique item. It's a small comb carved from bamboo. I guess you could hold on to this. It was a gift from my mother. I will want it back, though, and if you lose it, well, you'll get your revenge on me? If it's the last thing I do. You finally start to feel sleepy, except maybe this isn't really a sleepy feeling. Maybe you're paralyzed. Try to keep your eyes open, but you can't. Darkness overtakes you. The dark voice from earlier speaks to you again. It shouldn't still be as spooky by now. You've had a whole day of strange voices in your head. But this one is still undeniably odd. The human body is made up of 60% water. Did you know that? Of course you did. Everyone knows that. Even amnesiac video game protagonists. Well, guess what? Drink as much as you'd like. You'll never get to 100%. You hear me? Don't think I don't see what you're up to. You wake suddenly to see someone looming over you. Trapper sitting beside you, sketching a portrait. Oh, you're awake. I saw you with the spirit right before bedtime. You should know, they're not what they seem. Not like me, who is obviously completely honest and trustworthy. I was out checking to make sure you weren't sleeping near one of mine. Actually, never mind. Just be careful where you sit. But since I'm here, I'd like to share two things with you. One, I do not take rejection well. Two, the first thing is very important to remember. Were you drawing me? You aren't drawing stink lines radiating out from me, are you? Look, I'm not an easy guy to get along with, but I am an easy guy to spend time with. That will make sense if you choose to spend time with me tomorrow. The rest of us come live like rats. They wouldn't know how good time if it bit them on the ass. I mean that, literally. Point is, if you select me, you're in for a day of luxury, extravagance, and fun. Yes, I said fun. And if I don't pick you, remember what I said earlier, or it might be the last thing you ever forget. But hey, you look tired. Get some rest, sleep, maybe even sleep well if you can. Just try not to roll over to the about 15 feet to your left. Finally alone. For real this time. Maybe. You drift off to sleep again. Hopefully you're not poisoned. Wait a second. Are we? This isn't... Oh, geez, it is. It's one of those reality show confessional rooms where all the contestants talk directly to the camera. Look, I don't need anyone. I've been perfectly fine on my own since my mother died. I eat an all-organic diet of raw deer, bear, and human, and I'm fit as a fiddle. That being said, something about this newcomer makes me think that I might be missing out on some huge parts of that thing called life. There's always time to turn things around, like that one time I spent day and night searching for food in vain, only to return to my cabin spent and starving to find a family of squirrels nesting in my chimney. They were delicious. Look, I'm always full of rage. The key is knowing how to control your rage so you can use it. I'm a master of self-control, and right now, I'm using all the self-control I can muster, because today was a disaster. Let's just say I didn't love it. That was funny. Laugh. I said laugh, damn it. Anyway, I'm planning to kill this idiot. Don't tell them, though. I want to lead them on a little more. It'll make it that much better for me when they're screaming. I'm not really sure how to feel about Illusion. On one hand, everyone I've cared about has met an awful fate, so it's probably good for Illusion if they keep ignoring me. On the other hand, there's something about them that maybe could work out for my plan, or for me. I know that everyone thinks of me as a beautiful, cold-blooded monster. I can't help it. Circulation just isn't my thing. I don't choose to be cold. This cute hat and robe, okay, those are choices, sure. If someone were to come around and capture my heart, at least that beats being stabbed in it. Besides, if I'm going to get bloody revenge on a society that has used me and thrown me away, maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a little help. Achievement's still alive. You open your eyes. The sun is shining, there's not a cloud in the sky, and you feel great, totally well rested. You're not even suspicious of the fact that you fell asleep by a campfire, but woke up several yards down the beach. Wait, are you on vacation? Was yesterday nothing more than a strange dream? No, not a dream. You really are here for another day. Why? I have no idea. You're obviously a weirdo. Speaking of weirdos, I see the rest of the gang is hanging out on the beach. This is definitely not a dream. I wouldn't rule out nightmare just yet, though. At least they make for a sexy bunch, no? And talk about sexy. Here comes Trickster carrying coffee. Morning, beautiful. I thought you might like a nice cup of joe to start this incredible day off, right? Trickster seems suspiciously cheerful. I'm sure there's nothing nefarious behind his joyful demeanor, though. Everyone knows musicians are morning people. I also want to wish you luck. Today is an important one. My only regret is that I won't be a bigger part of it. Budgeting issues. Also, I'm just swamped with engagements, especially on the other island. Trickster winks at you. If you want to ask him how to reach the other island, now is the time. Never mind, he left. Well, at least he brought me a cup of... No, wait, don't drink that. What the hell was that? They don't call him Trickster because he's good on a skateboard. And he definitely didn't get that name because he brings people drinks so they can have a good morning. That was almost certainly not coffee. And I don't want anyone casually poisoning, imprisoning, and torturing you. Yet. This is supposed to be a tropical paradise. The type of place you give a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up for you two, not an eternal prison of pain. And please, make sure to leave a review. It really helps with the algorithms. Just trust me. I'm looking out for you. So, can we please move on? Hey, wait a second. How did a possibly omniscient, possibly unreliable narrator physically just knock that coffee out of your hand? This is not Parliament, and the floor does not recognize the ocean to speak out of turn at this moment. I like that. That is a nice line. I need no recognition, for I am the ocean. I dominate the land. I submerge those who defy me and become their watery grave. Actually, speaking of graves, I would like to say something. Something of grave importance. Fine, go ahead. Even if this place is an eternal prison of pain, and I'm not saying it is, even a place of extreme horror can still receive a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 thumbs up review if it was crafted with love and or that's the type of thing you're into. You know, Yoshin is right. A lot of hard work goes into a place like this. You should really judge it to the artist's intent, and whenever possible, start from the mindset of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Constructing these elaborate simulations, vacations, is not easy to do. Sometimes there are some small bugs or inconsistencies, but that's just the nature of the process. Perfection is overrated. The universe is filled with mysteries. We ought to celebrate those who venture to bare their souls as part of a creative process with the ultimate intent of making things for our enjoyment, not to be overly critical of them. Are you two trying to sell me on this place actually being good? You don't have to say it like that, especially after I saved you from a poorly made cup of coffee. Sorry, we should have been here 5 minutes ago. They always do this on the second morning. Sad, really. Even if they do make some great points. Oh sure, they make great points, I agree. Can we please move on? And wait a minute. How are you hearing the narrator and the ocean? Yes, of course, apologies. The last few minutes aside, have you been enjoying your time here on the island? Yes, I'm not at all suspicious that there's no option here. What an encouraging response. And we're so glad you're not suspicious. Hey, maybe it isn't suspicious because they figured out what they're actually doing here. Zero chance, they're still clicking. Even right now to see how you'll respond. Hey, look at that. Yeah, they don't know anything. Doesn't matter though. We're so happy to hear you're having fun. I didn't say I was having fun. We're all having fun. Do you hear us? We're all having fun. We do need to ask you one more question, though. We all had to sign away our rights to say anything negative about this place. Would you please sign this non-disparagement agreement? No. Wait, what? No, I will not say anything negative about this island. You have my word that I, Illusion, agree with the terms of this verbal contract. Perfect. Delightful. Excellent. Yes, yes. Hey, it's still totally cool if you have constructive feedback. The place to leave that is in a positive review because we all know that nobody reads negative reviews of games or resorts like this. Anyway, I see Dwight and Claudette have gone into a trance, and with the grumbling I hear from your belly, that can mean only one thing. Breakfast. Perfect time. Everyone rolls into the dining area to lard up those sexy little bellies with pancakes and bacon and... So much for maintaining those beach pods. We're all half naked in tropical paradise. Can we get some strawberries here? A yogurt? Magic powers will only get you so far. Even killers watch their sodium intake. You take your plate and sit down, thinking about yesterday and the whirlwind of feelings you experienced. Danger, dread, disorientation. It was like going through puberty again, except all in one day, on a beautiful and mysterious island. It looks like you're not the only one doing some introspection, though. Trapper stands up to talk about how his day went, in case anyone was wondering. Personally, I wasn't. I can't imagine you can make me any angrier today than you did yesterday, but I really hope you do. I really hope you do. Unrelated, anyone see where I left my cleaver? Ha ha ha, just kidding. I always know where my cleaver is. Well, that was bizarre. Back to your breakfast. Nope. Now Hunter steps up to talk about her feelings. This island is treacherous. I don't know what the newcomer thinks they are doing here, but certainly isn't helping any of us. Whoa. Hunter pretends to be all independent, but she is secretly kind of miffed you and her aren't getting along. Oh, well, that sure must be it. No one else would weirdly stand up during breakfast, too. And just like that, here comes Spirit. Something's not right. Did anyone else feel especially cold last night? Not in the technically dead sense, but I don't know, some other sense? It's like, for the first time in a long time, I felt the sun yesterday, and then it went away. I didn't like it. One moment. My nose feels all clogged up, and so it's like I want to step away, and that's what I'm dealing with. It's like for the first time in a long time, I felt the sun yesterday, and then it went away. I didn't like it. Guessing Wraith has had enough time to work up the courage to speak in front of a group? Ah, perfect. There he is. Take us home, Wraith. I'm glad the introduction of illusion to our island paradise, and yeah, that was in quotations, didn't distract me from my normal routine, ignoring all of you and vice versa. This place is an eternal prison of suspicion and suffering, and no one cares. I'm still the one asking any questions. I'm asking a question too. It's, when will Wraith shut up? And now they're all looking at you expectantly. Wait, are you supposed to stand up and explain how yesterday made you feel? I think I need to process everything by myself. I'll see you all soon. Damn, what a power play. Keep on wanting more. You're getting good at this game. Sexy true-to-life experience. Shame you didn't get to eat any breakfast, but so be it. After breakfast, you head to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. Before you get there, though, something catches your attention. You hear that? Very interesting. Me? Oh yeah, I guess that is. Okay, right. You know, I'm not pursuing a relationship with one of these poor fine killers, but it feels like the person I'm getting to know the most is you, narrator. It's only okay in so much as it serves to illustrate that you've lost your mind, seeing as how I'm not real and all. Yeah, I heard it this time. I think it's coming from behind the pool shed. No, stick it in there. A little more, a little more. Oh yeah, that's it. Yes. How does that feel? Intense. Nice. Yeah, that feels right. This is uncomfortable. Now I want to take that and put it right. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Just like that. Exactly like that. This is incredibly suggestive, but I really wish I knew what was going on. Exactly like that. I swear I had no those two even do, whatever it is that they are doing. I'm afraid to look. Please see something so they know we're close by and can hear everything. Oh wow, look at this super cool bottle of Trickster brand suntan lotion. Someone left on a chair. Anyone know where I can buy some? Damn it. Oh, come on, a little privacy, please. Dwight is panting and Claudia has a crazed look in her eyes. Sorry, I didn't know how else to let you know I was here and that I could hear you. Well, you know. Know what? What do you think we were doing? You were doing... I don't know exactly what you were doing, but it sounded like... fun. You think two people trying to find new ways to kill each other in a desperate search to make their own death permanent is fun? We get 5 minutes to ourselves every day, and we spend it hoping if we stab each other in just the right spot, we won't get resurrected. I've come to believe that the key to finding the exact place we need to bleed out from, and I believe that place is in our appendix. Why else would it be there? Makes sense to me. Did you actually think we were... me and him? Dwight? You don't have to laugh that hard. They get it. My life is a nightmare, and yet somehow it's never been worse than right now. Let's go, lover boy. I know all our entry runes and our 5 minutes is up anyway. Good luck. You're going to need it. And hey, if you figure out how to escape this island, please make sure your ghost tells us how. That was both a tragedy and a comedy. A cragmedy. Shut up. I like it. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. Actually, wasn't bad. You're heading to the hot tub by yourself to clear your head. Yesterday was, in short, a lot. So far, today has been exhausting too. But you're dedicated to achieving a true, centered sense of calm. No drama, no bullshit, just soaking up sun in a heated pool. Today, you're on a date with you. Oh, I like that. I want to be on a date with me. Who would make the first move? Aside from that disturbing thought, All is going to plan until a shadow blocks your precious sun. Spiky tip like a palm tree is bending over to screw with you. But it's no tree at all. It's... Hey, babe. Breakfast is weird, huh? Everyone is getting up and announcing how they're feeling. What's that about? Some forced kind of check-in with the group? I don't like it. Fishy. Kinda lazy. Whatever though, breakfast is dumb. No one should eat before noon or after 4 p.m. Yeah, I do intermittent fasting. You see my abs, by the way. I mean, those are some nice abs. I will admit, they are some nice abs. May you see them later at my private stage on the other island. You know, IP Island, where all the Hollywood celebs hang out. If you play your cards right, I could give you a private show. Catch you around. His abs are pretty amazing. You gotta give him that. And the blow-up bat, threatening but adorable. Makes for an interesting silhouette. Genius design. He's a psychopath, just like the rest of them. You don't gotta give him anything, and we're not best friends. Just because we had a little talk about doing a little talking, it's not an open invitation to go smashing the fourth wall every 5 seconds. Okay, now that guy is gone, and we've got some ground rules established that we're definitely not going to abide by, it's time to lay back, take some deep, slow breaths, and... Nope, another shadow. These people will not leave you alone. Let's see what it is this time. Oh, it's Spirit. That checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know a place that brings a bit of welcome darkness to this tropical nightmare. Best of all, I'm the only one who seems to know about it, so we won't be bothered there. I don't even know why I'm telling you, really. It's my private spot, but I guess I've got a feeling that you'll appreciate the way I do. Not like these other killers. They don't get me. But I'll get them. Oh, I'll get them all. And I'll get my father, too. And I'll punish him for what he did to me and my mother and me. Spirit radiates a menacing aura, waving her sword around the air as she threatens, well, the entire universe. It's scary and more than a little hot, if you get turned on by menacing. Look, all this time on Murderer's Island has got us both a little confused about things. I'm just going to lean into it. I'd suggest you do the same. You've seen her get mad, which is probably enough to scare you into compliance. But you've also seen that there's a more sensitive side hiding within her. Which one do you think will win out? You consider her offer, but before you can decide if you want to go off with Spirit, the Huntress interjects. I guess you could go off with Spirit today, but she seems pretty cool, actually. I think if we weren't here on this island fighting against each other for your attention, we might actually be friends. We might have something, though, you and I. I couldn't let you go off to her goth lighthouse without speaking up first. Yeah, I know her secret spot. I see everything through the holes in this adorable mask. So, my offer stands. We can still hang out today. Plenty of room at my cabin, wink wink. It's pretty cute the Huntress thinks she has to say wink wink out loud. The mask barely even hides her face. Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly because you can only go on one date today, and you also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. It's always good to remember that these are all cold-blooded killers. But you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And then die a horrible, retching, writhing death after drinking it because the lemons were poisoned all along. Sorry, this island has really got me tilted. So, who will it be? Spirit. I gotta go with Spirit. You've made the correct decision, but know this, just because you picked me, doesn't mean I'm going to slobber all over you like a dog, understand? Well, of course, you've still got a lot to prove to me. I want to believe that our connection is real, but I've been hurt before, literally, with a katana. Just a moment, I'll be right back again. still got a lot to prove to me. I wouldn't believe that our connection is real, but I've been hurt before, literally, with a katana. A katana that I now yield in spectral form. You feel me? Because you will feel me if you try any of that macho trapper crap. Yeah, I feel ya. Before you ask Claudette and Dwight to clarify, I'll just let you know that yes, it is too late to change your answer now. You and Spirit arrive at the coast, overlooking the Black Lighthouse. It's old and decrepit, but still impressive. There's something magnetic about it. You can see why Spirit would be drawn to such a place. You look Spirit up and down and notice that she's wearing all black, just like the lighthouse. I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Is black your favorite color? Black isn't really a color at all. It's the absence of color. It's a void. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It is the presence of all color. White is actually the absence of all color. Technically. But it's a common misconception. Because, I mean, think about it. What happens when you add all the colors together? What continuously happens over and over and over again? Taking one color and adding it, and you just keep going over the same spot with each different color. Eventually you just get so many colors that it turns black. Like me. Spirit smiles. Nature abhors a vacuum. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The lapping waves on the shore of the coast set a romantic tone. The fog that surrounds Spirit everywhere she goes blends perfectly with the mist rolling up over the rocky shoreline. She's at one with this place, and so are you. The peace doesn't last too long, however, as the lighthouse lets out an eerie howl, like a monster dying. A spiraling black light stretches out across the sky. Spirit has to yell at you just to be heard. Oh yeah, it does that. The light and sound recede when the two of you sit in silence. Spirit lays a towel down and then pats on it gently. Clearly she wants you to oblige. When you do, she takes out some sunscreen and hands it to you. You're not exactly sure what to do. Is this an invitation to get in a little hands-on action? What else could it be? Thanks, I forgot to bring my own when I lost my memory and fell into the ocean. No problem, I figured as much. Sarah turns away while you slather lotion all over your body. You need any help reaching those difficult spots? See a hand float around your back? Sure, why not? Spirit's hand on your back is ice cold, but she has a soft touch. When she's done, she takes care of herself. You watch as Spirit apply sunscreen to herself in the most unique way, by floating her own hand around her back to spread it on. Well, I mean, the floating hands, I am curious about the glass. She talked about being sliced by her dad. So where'd the glass come in? So, if you don't mind, what's the deal with all those shards of glass sticking out from all over your body? You really want to know? You're not creeped out by them? You're not creeped out, just nervous because you know the answer might be very personal, but she's a person you want to get to know. I was just thinking about what you must have gone through to end like that. It had to have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends, eventually. But I wouldn't want to forget it. It literally made me who I am right now. Truth is, I could pull all these bits of glass that are stuck in my flesh out right now if I want to, but I don't want to. Each shard is a reminder of what my father did to me, and what the world did to him. That's why I refuse to play the universe's game. I hate the idea that I'll be forced to succumb to pressure the way he did in the end. The way that fear and anger filled him up, and then came bursting out. The way his misery flooded our home and drowned us all. Yeesh. It's hard not to think about revenge. The dragon inside me, it's doing to me what the world did to him. I have to fight it. Even though it gives me strength, I must maintain control. You're stronger than he ever was, I'm sure of it. I appreciate that. I suppose a little help isn't a bad thing. In life and love, this world is a lot to endure alone. Maybe I could use a little assistance reaching my delicate toes for a bit of lotion. You know, having your body contorted into these vengeful poses, it really does a number on my joints. It rubs the lotion on its skin. Not bad. Perfect. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Well, I suppose that lotion made it to where it was supposed to be going, eventually. And you weren't too incredibly wasteful. I'm not a woman who believes in rushing through things just to get them done. And if there's a next time, I'm sure you'll do even better. You look up at the lighthouse, its ominous dark form hovering about this moment between spirit and yourself. Evil as it clearly is, in this case, it does you a solid by blurting out another ominous moan and burst of black light that rescues you from this awkward silence. From seemingly out of nowhere, an ancient-looking ship appears in the water. It glows, itself a thing of death, a spirit of a ship that once sailed these seas centuries ago. A tattered black flag whips in the ocean air above the ship as it careens towards the shore. Just before crashing on the rocks, it must have been drawn in by the lighthouse. You hear the distant shouting of sailors as the old wooden ghost ship breaks up and sinks into the water. Oh right, it does that sometimes too. Should we, do something? Nah, the sharks will take care of it. Within a minute, the ocean is quiet again, except for the waves. Note to self, hungry sharks. But these time-traveling pirates, or whoever they were, you're half sure you saw one of those skulls and crossbow flags, aren't the only ones drawn here today. It's Wraith. He has emerged from the palm trees behind you. I didn't come here to break up your date or something. I came here for that. Wraith points to the lighthouse. It is indifferent to his attention. I'm seeing it in my dreams, shining a strange light on me. Can't avoid it. To the woods and walls, nothing seems to stop it from reaching out to me. Duh, it's a haunted lighthouse. It does that to everyone at some point. You're no more special than me, those dead pirates, or that mermaid I saw washed up on the shore one time. Ew. Mermaids, by the way, aren't even close to as beautiful in person as they are in movies. More sea witch than underwater princess, if you get my drift. It's all part of a vast conspiracy, an epic river of lies that runs beneath the island, or something. I'm pretty sure I figured it out, the basics. Anyhow, if you come with me, you can get cut. Spirit waves her katana, nearly trimming a couple buttons off Wraith's tropical top. He takes the hit and backs away a few steps slowly. For the quiet guy, he never really shuts up. Okay, be that way, you'll see. Alone at last, tension broken, deathly moans quiet, and Wraith banished back to wherever he hangs out. You scooch closer to Spirit. breathing in the damp, foggy air that seems to emanate from her. It's not quite clear how that whole fog thing works, but you don't even care. You're feeling this moment. Spirit seems to be feeling it too. She starts to adjust your robe, and you get a peek at the bathing suit beneath. For someone who seems intent on proving how little she cares about what everyone else thinks, she put a lot of work into getting that suit. It's got straps for days. However, you're so focused on what's happening with Spirit, you don't see the next interruption coming. And Claudette and Dwight burst in on you and interrupt whatever you're doing. It doesn't seem like they were worried they'd bump into much. We're here to make a very dramatic announcement. Well, technically we're here to invite you to join us back at the beach, where we'll be making a very dramatic announcement. It's hard being the producers and the hosts. Our safari's supposed to work in groups of 4. When you arrive at the beach, you realize you're set up. Despite promising an announcement, Dwight and Claudette simply stand quietly. This isn't at all what was promised. Wait a minute, there's no announcement here. But there is a me! You got mud in your ears, friend. I told you to get lost. Don't you see? Lost is what I am, and so are you. But I know the way out. I've got a map back in my secret lair. Literally and figuratively. Yeah, I know the difference. That's why you should ditch Spirit and come spend the rest of the night with me instead. You've got a secret lair? Damn it. Who said anything about secret lair? I said I've got sap in my secret hair. There's a flap on my secret chair. Don't change the subject. Don't ask me what he's talking about. You're trying to make a mess of the first nice days I've had in I don't know how long, because it's not even clear what year it is, but in a while. I'm not about to be ditched for the likes of you. It's not me messing things up. Like I keep trying to tell you, it's this dang island. I've come to accept a difficult truth. What's happening here? Well, I'm convinced that it's our fate. It's not anyone's decision. It's simply the way it will be. There's no use fighting it. What do you even know about fighting? All you know is hiding in your spooky little secret hair and crying like a baby while ringing your little bell. So don't tell me what I can and can't fight back against. I was a born fighter. A dragon lives inside me. I can't not fight. Even when all I might do is hide. Don't you see this giant hat? It's a metaphor. If I do have a fate, my fate is to win every fight that comes my way. Got it? Folks? Oh, you hide. I've seen you hide. You do your phrase walking routine. What do you call that? It's basically cloaking. And we all know that cloaking is a type of hiding. Folks? You cloak. I don't cloak. I'm not a cloaker. I phase walk out in the open. You just can't see me. You have no idea what you're talking about. But this sure sounds like some video game community forum thread minutia if there ever was such a thing. Sure doesn't seem like Dwight and Claudette are going to stop this, so it's on you. I think I was brought here to make this choice, so I'm going to do that now. And I am going to continue to choose going with Spirit. Comes down to it, neither of these two seem easy to love. I mean, damn, Spirit literally has broken glass shards singing over her. But she has a certain charm to her gloom. Spirit and I were actually having a nice time. Besides, if it's my fate to end up on this island, well, to hell with fate, really. And don't take this the wrong way, Wraith, but the amount of awkwardness you pack into a single day, no wonder you're so skinny. All that second guessing yourself must burn a lot of calories. No offense taken, yeah, okay, it's true. I can be a little awkward, I guess. Sometimes. Right, so I'm going to stick with Spirit. Spirit breathes a sigh of relief. I've got enough revenging to do without having to kill you and Wraith too. Spirit walks you around the corner to show you something that she discovered in this place and knew was meant to be connected with her journey. A cherry tree. It is just a small sapling, but has begun to sprout flowers. It doesn't make sense to see a cherry tree here in this place. It also doesn't make sense to see a ghost in a black bathing suit. So, you just accept it. As Spirit sits up to the tree, a cold breeze pulls some petals off and they come cascading through the air around the both of you. Do you know the meaning of this cherry blossom? They're beautiful, but also quite symbolic. Of course, like all good symbols, their meaning is pretty complicated. What do they mean to you? For many people, being among cherry blossoms is like being at a celebration of life. People travel great distances just to be near their vibrant beauty. However, as beautiful as they might be, they aren't magical. They're simply flowers. They quickly die and fade away, and for this reason, they are also a symbol of the fleeting nature of life, of our fragile mortality. In a way, it's a specter of looming death that calls attention to this special moment, to see and appreciate life. How does that duality make you feel? I mean, not really empowered, unsure or flustered, or frustrated. We'll go with frustrated. As you look at the tree and Sarah Spirit's question, you reflect on your own current predicament. Stranded here, no understanding of why, no control. The beauty of this island, the attention of such an interesting companion. It should bring you joy, but it comes at the price of being completely confused and hopeless. You look down and see a crumbling cherry blossom on the ground at your feet. As you stare at it, something begins to rage inside you, like a dragon. How can anyone find comfort, even for a moment, with death and decay looming on the horizon? It makes me so frustrated. It makes me so mad. I want to do something about it. I want to strike back against this shitty reality. Spirit lets you go off, staying calm despite your bubbling rage. She has no thoughts like this. Is that why she asked you? Is that what you'd see? Is that so that you'd see things from her point of view? I want to be alive. You feel connected to her at this moment, more than you have at any point before. You wonder, does she feel the same? Once, the fallen cherry blossoms represented the souls of samurai warriors. Those with noble characters. Those who did not fear death. Those who were killed in the greatest sacrifice, to honor their emperor. Their lives were short, but their purpose gave them beauty. Those warriors saw death coming, but they never despaired. They stood and faced it. They held their swords and struck down their fear. But despite the samurai spirit that lives on in me, and my noble bloodline, my life has ended, but my death continues to stretch on. The cycle is frozen. This cherry tree is not real, though its petals fall. They soon replenish, as if it were installed here by someone. You watch as Spirit chooses her words very carefully. By something with no respect for the balance of life and death. We're sorry to interrupt you. You know, we don't believe you, right? Yep. But this time we've got a really good reason. It has nothing to do with us being manipulated by an unseen force, because that's definitely not what's happening. Nobody accused you of that, but okay. We're just here to tell you that it's time for dinner, silly. Get it while it's hot. I guess it's time to go, or whatever. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I enjoyed it. Me Who? What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining. And that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an entire afternoon courting a psycho killer. No, you are really feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry, I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All the appetizing singles have arrived for dinner, including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we cram them all on screen at the same time again, so just believe me. They're all here, and they're not just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your level on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. However, since Trapper seems like the biggest longshot to end up holding onto your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island, but hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do, and heaven knows they won't do any better than that. If I'm dining solo, I'm eating what I want, and you're all eating it too. Lamb shank, rare, salt, pepper, no sauces allowed, and serve it with one single piece of broccoli so Wraith won't complain. I like broccoli. Gives me horrible gas. Oh, I don't like that. Buddy, wait till you smell that rare lamb does to my bowels. It's awesome. Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day. Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure, but how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little, and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there and say nothing. Nothing is not an option. It wasn't really a date, more like two people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone, but doing it in a relatively close proximity to each other. That's exactly right. Couldn't have said anything of value better myself. Sarah's clearly happy with the way you portrayed your date. No surprise, she doesn't like people getting into her business. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence. No one trusts anyone now, and they're all very tired. Oh wait, no. Sorry. That's a dreary supernatural horror thriller set in Antarctica. Not a charming parody dating sim set in an undisclosed tropical paradise. Bony appetit? Don't you mean bone? No, almost everything we serve has a lot of bones in it, even the vegetables. Huh? How do vegetables have bones in them? Impossible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate, take your napkin, and dust crumbs off of the table. What would you like to say to the servants? Is there anything else we can do for you? Anything at all? Anything? A manners book, perhaps? It's fine. We're used to this kind of shabby treatment here on Jerk Island. Everyone, if you would please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen, something that will change everything. You can go willingly, or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies. Did you have a choice on how you said that, dweeb? Yes, and I immediately regret how I did. Good, something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. Oh, the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes. Because of my childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving towards the fire pit. If only to get away from Wraith's complaining. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell a story this time. Will narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think? Are they allowed to simply place thoughts in my mind like this? Doesn't that seem fair? Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh, cool. Now everyone's looking at you. So, do something. Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or we could play charades. Boggle? Well, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points his spine and skull staff thingamajig at you. I mean, it really looks more like it's some sort of axe. Because, look, there's a kind of a blade that goes underside of it. I mean, it's capped by the skull. But, it looks kind of like it would be an axe. You duck out of its way. Who knows what the thing can do? Probably shoots lasers. Try not to bore us. We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up. I know that the fire is right here, but maybe we stop talking about it all the time and start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Lucian is about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. I'd rather not. Why? Do you have something to hide? You're telling us you don't have a single story in your entire life? So sad. Truly, humanity has reached its crumbling nadir. I just want to hear your voice. Why are you being like this? Because you're all much better storytellers than I. Look at you, wooing everyone without offending anyone. The killers blush, flattered, except Spirit. She sees through you. Sorry. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. Sorry, but this narrator keeps it real. We just can't end there. So who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. Spirit's story was amazing earlier, so let's keep the ball rolling. I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but anything I say is sure to be better than whatever you get out of anyone else in this group. Like all good stories, I stole this one from someone in the past who's dead now and can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride, or technically I suppose the fiancé? One winter, a young couple decided the next spring they would be married. These two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt, so they could join in matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Per the latest bridal trends, they tend to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful, shabby, chic farmhouse. Together, they spent months planning the details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figured out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. They chose Lilikoi, by the way. So fancy. What the fuck is Lilikoi? Where's my phone? More commonly known as passion fruit. Interesting. I've never heard of such a cake. Passion fruit cake? Interesting. Very interesting. When it came time to figure out the decorations, however, the bride, or the fiancé, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, Her boyfriend had been wearing cargo shorts and open-toe sandals for pretty much their entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. Having decided on such a lovely, natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancée decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surrounded the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on that first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day she spent hours mapping out where the best blooms could be found, and prepared to pick them herself the morning of the wedding so that they'd be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods, she surveyed. The bride, the fiancé, since they hadn't yet been married, became obsessed with knowing just how many there were, so she could choose the absolute best. When the fateful morning of her big day finally came, the fiancée told her husband-to-be that she had one final errand before the wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in her beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers. Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came upon a once familiar clearing, something was not as she expected. Somehow, it was more beautiful now than ever been before, and just on the edge of her view was a new bush filled with blossoms so vibrant and colorful she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower, and every time she did, she just noticed just further ahead and possibly even more beautiful blossoms. Carried by the sweet fragrance of spring air, the fiancé crept further and farther into the woods until she turned a corner, stepped over a mossy fallen tree trunk, and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least not how she remembered it. The flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying, falling from their stems into festering, moldy piles on the floor. Where bees had been, now only flies buzzed. Where the scene of flowers had once intoxicated her, the odor of mildew now made her sick. She turned and looked back, but the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen she walked, and walked, and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancée was nowhere to be seen. Her friends, family, and love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest, but there were no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wandering, looking for fresher blooms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are. Out there, all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad, just like someone we know. How was story time? A lot of people like to take pot shots at sequels, but I think every good story deserves a follow-up. When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off of any individual installment and builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator. Tell me, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be? Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening. God forbid my small talk get in the way of a romantic twilight moment. Dwight, I'm going to need you to shut your yap trap. You know that we need to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on the screen? Okay, you have fun tonight and try not to, wink wink, end up dead. Why did you say words, wink wink, out loud, and what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking, not since the accident. And you do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit. She really doesn't belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed. Did I hear somebody trash-talking Spirit? Deal me in. Why do you say we take this to the hot tub so I can soak this bod while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes? Please, enough talk of burns. Things that are lit are getting blazed. It's enough that these activities here and have to be set next to a literal fire. Must I be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could? Just you and me. On those spindly legs, you'd probably tire before you got too far. If it's running away to someplace more secluded, Illusion is after. They should obviously join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. She does have some thick legs. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice, and it's completely logical. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other, so that corporations swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. I'll be sitting in the shade and drinking something locally sourced while thumbing through a public domain novel printed on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore. It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on or just me? Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for the moment. If you could, I don't know, pick one of us, maybe we could all move on with our lives, or, you know, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? I'm just saying, you may not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time on Murderer's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either. With this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that was taken. Or all that was not taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster because, that guy. Spirit? Oh, you picked me. Yay! Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise phoniness, so I should be honest with you. You make for interesting company, and I love the idea of winning over those other killers at all costs, even when I hate the game and the prize, but I had a long day. Floating, subverting expectations, grinding my teeth as I imagine sweet revenge, it takes a lot out of me. So don't stop bringing your A game, alright? It might seem like I hate everything. Getting to really know who I am is an impossible task not worth trying, but too bad. You won't know unless you search deep inside yourself and bring everything you've got. Or just say the exact right thing at the right time and melt my cold heart in an instant. I don't know. The rules here are any better than you do. See you at the bar, I guess. You arrive at the bar to find Dwight and Claudette both owning cocktail shakers, surrounded by a bevy for assorted boozes. Who's ready to get wasted? As you know, I don't drink, so not me, unless you mean wasted as in killed. In which case, Dad, if you are out there somewhere, I will find you and waste you for what you've done to me. You really don't drink? Ever? Is that a, like, because it'll just fall out a hole in your stomach thing, or... I don't drink alcohol because alcohol is a poison in the body and the mind, and I don't need to act like a fool to have a good time thing. Then why did you choose a mixology lesson as your romantic nighttime activity? Everyone knows this kind of day is just an excuse to get loaded up on booze and make terrible decisions. It's true, not a single person has ever learned anything at one of these. Dwight, no, that's not true. You learned how to tie a cherry knot in a stem using only your tongue. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who ordered the soda with a splash of my private business? Because that's off menu. Well, I knew that I'm drinking to forget tonight. Mixology is a real thing and it doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. I'll have you all know that I worked at a restaurant before I was violently executed. By your father, on whom you will have your bloody vengeance. Right. Well, so be it. How about you, Elysian? Do you drink? She doesn't drink. We're trying to get in her good graces, so we'll stay sober. I've got the impression that tonight will be a night when I want to remember perfectly, so I'm going to pass on the alcoholic drinks. Here, here. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, it's not like sober people can't have fun. You watch a spirit picks up a plump cherry and roughly stabs a little plastic sword through it. Cherry juice splatters everywhere, and its little fruitly guts flop out into Spirit's lap. Whoopsie. One of the upsides of wearing black, it hardly shows stains. No take backsies. So, lovebirds, what drink shall we make? I don't know. Zombies are good. Not a fan of Bloody Marys. I don't know what a fancy beer is, but I don't think that's something you can mix. What the fuck is a dark and stormy? How about a dark and stormy drink for my dark and stormy date? Okay, that one is cute. Please allow us to demonstrate how a dark and stormy is made. First, rum, or in this case, rum extract, and a bit of apple juice is poured over ice. And then fresh ginger beer is added in. Garnished with a lime wheel. Ooh, that actually sounds really good. So what was that? Rum, ginger beer, and apple juice. And then garnished with a lime wheel. I wonder what the actual proportions of that are. And what do you have to make? Do you actually shake or stir the apple juice and the rum first? Because you wouldn't want to do that after you put the ginger beer in, because that's carbonated. So what's in a dark and stormy? So we've got oh, this is a different recipe for it, but this recipe, you can probably replace the lime juice with a couple different options, but it's optional. 2 ounces dark rum, ½ ounce fresh lime juice, ice, candied ginger slice, 3 ounces chilled ginger beer, and a lime wheel. Fill shaker with ice, add the rum and lime juice and shake well. Strain into an ice-filled Collins glass, stir in the ginger beer, and then garnish. So, I'm right, you did have to shake the juice and the rum first, and then you stir after you add in the beer. and drink. The end. Do you think you're up to the challenge of replicating this recipe? Replicating rum substitute and ginger beer over ice. Don't forget the lime wheel. Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice with a lime wheel. Not sure I appreciate your tone, but yes, you got it. You're natural. A sassy natural. You and Dwight might have more in common than... Don't you dare. Spirit seems to be in a lovely mood as she sips her dark and stormy. She's not even rolling her eyes at your petty behavior. On cue, a little dark storm begins to make its way in from the ocean. You taste your own dark and stormy as you watch the clouds approach. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I got here. And since you picked a simple but delicious drink, we've got plenty of time left to relax. Want to make out a little? You breathe in a sip of your drink and immediately begin coughing. Before you can get a yes out, lightning strikes a palm tree on the beach and immediately starts the fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claudette and Dwight usher the two of you away from the bar. The gang's all together again on the volleyball court. Seems like only yesterday you were sitting on the sidelines watching everyone get sweaty. That's because it was... Boy, feels like I've been here a lot longer than that, actually. It's so late that the sun is already beginning to rise. Better get this over with, quickly, so that, you can get some beauty rest. I do not recommend the eternal damnation of perpetual narratordom. Good thing you've really used your time well since then. Really getting to know the gang, the brain, the Moogle, the basket case, the psychotic bunny girl. You know the 4 types of people. Anyway, everyone is gathered on the volleyball court for a new type of game. Pitch your dream date and see who Illusion chooses. Who's ready for a round robin? How round are we talking? No, not to eat, Huntress. Each killer gets 2 minutes to tell you about the dream date they have planned for you tomorrow. In no particular order, which is a weird thing to mention, right? Almost like the order does matter. Trapper, why don't you go first? You think you deserve it, even if in this case it's a subtle dig? Stop talking. Trapper, without further ado, would you like to make us all uncomfortable pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable? Not only in polite society, but within the narrative of this in-world event, and also the larger meta-narrative of a Dead by Daylight dating experience. Sometimes you just gotta say it. Oh, why, yes, thank you, I'd love to. So, Illusion, you're thinking of picking me? Well, this is your final warning. Pick me and be punished and rewarded. Tomorrow will suck. Probably not an easy guy to get along with, I know that. But I can tell you this much. I'm hiding a secret on this island that will make fans shit themselves with excitement. If you like Trapper, you're going to love it. And if not, you're a maggot. Also, everyone, even confident, sexy ladies in rabbit masks, better stay the hell away from my yacht. Great. Huntress, why don't you take it from here? Tomorrow morning, I'm planning on a nice, atmospheric breakfast on the yacht. Don't worry, Trapper won't even know it's gone. What was that? Nothing. Go away. Then, boy oh boy, I've got such an adventure planned. It involves hunting for treasure. What kind of treasure are we looking for? Guess you'll have to pick off me to find out. Let me tell you, it's primo stuff. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to start preparing because it's clearly already that you're going to pick me. Confident, mysterious, I like it. Sorry, anyway, Wraith? Well, I don't know. I'd really prefer to just tell Illusion privately. I don't really know how that's going to work with these game mechanics. What if you just whispered it to Illusion? Wraith considers for a long moment. Too long. That's fine. Without moving, Wraith lowers his voice to a barely audible whisper. Tomorrow we have to find my bell. And then I can finally tell you about what I've been working on. It's going to be really special. The kind of thing where we really bond. And maybe finally get off this island. And maybe then we can go on a real date. You done? Is that it? Wraith nods, proud. Hit us, Spirit. Figuratively, damn it, Dwight. You gotta watch your words with these people. Tomorrow, you'll spit in the face of God, die, and be reborn anew. That's it? If you're not intrigued by that, I don't want you. Go draw crayon art with Trapper, or dig up whatever mysteries with Wraith. I don't know what those guys do all day. Do you want to at least specifically specify which god you'll be spitting in the face of? All of them. Okay then, so hydrate tonight if you intend to hang with Spirit. And time's up, everyone. Gosh, you'll need to dream about these options so you're ready to choose in the morning. Now go dream about all those swoon-worthy options so you're ready to make a choice come dawn. Have a swell night. Did you two forget to mention something? Oh, gosh, how could we forget? Before you run off to slumber peacefully, there's one more thing to do. No reality survival dating competition parody would be complete without singling out one of our contestants, who is already teetering on the edge of a psychological break, and giving them a little push. Hold up. This has been a survival dating competition parody this entire time, and I'm just now finding out about it? Come on, the signs were there, you just didn't read them. Welcome to Murderer's Island. It's now time to eliminate one of these killers. Ugh. It's like butchering, but it hurts even worse. You can't kill a killer, but can you break their heart? Do you dare to even try? You mean, that's right. Tomorrow one of these sexy slicers will not be eligible to take you on a date. Who's it going to be? But why? Because it's dramatic? Because it's surprising? Because it's a classic reversal of fate? And it will hurt someone's feelings? Someone dangerous. What's it going to be, champ? What's your thought process here? Trevor seems like he might throttle you in your sleep if you eliminate him. That being said, at least you'd see him coming. Spirit could be anywhere. She floats, and I hear she can disappear. Hard to track. If he were a Wraith, he might cry, and although I totally support normalizing men crying and being vulnerable, it just seems like he might be an ugly crier. And I mean, that should be a normal thing. It really should be. Huntress, she might pretend to be okay with it, but then you'll start seeing her behind every tree. What I say is, I don't envy you, boss. So which sociopath are you eliminating? The one I have zero interest in. This was very simple. Trapper, you scared the living shit out of me. You are eliminated. That's fair. Honestly though, I don't care. You suck. But in a good way. You bore me. You personality-free maggot. It wouldn't even be fun to kill you. Which I was totally going to do tomorrow the first chance I got. So really, this is a win-win for both of us. Still might kill you though. Out of principle for eliminating me. Sleep with both eyes open and have fun on your date tomorrow. Now that you've broken the heart of someone heartless, you should go get some shut-eye. And don't worry too much about the broken heart you've left behind. Because, of course, they'll be receiving a consolation prize. They might not get to go home with Illusion when this is all over, but they'll never sleep alone again. That's right, we're sending our eliminated player home with their own, mostly new Trickster body pillow. The next best thing to the real Trickster. It might not hug you back, but it definitely won't try and stab you. And how do we know? Because I've tried it. That's right, it's Dwight tested. Claudette approved. I hope you sleep well tonight, Illusion. You're my hero for what you've accomplished. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you've done? No, not because of the guilt. I mean, knowing that there's a legit homicidal maniac who hates you so close by. How can you sleep tonight knowing that you'll do tomorrow? I don't know how you'll do it, but you better go before Dwight and Claudette come back and put you to sleep themselves. You know those two. Schedule, schedule, schedule. Wow, what a crazy way to end the day. An elimination. I didn't even know it was that kind of game. Let's check in with everyone, especially our loser. Everyone deserves a send-off. We'll see how things go tomorrow, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything. I tend to shut my mind off during hard times. I know I seem all excited and devil may care, but the truth is, I'm really a pessimist at heart. That tends to happen when your mother is cured by milk when you were young? Yeah, how'd you know? Wild guess. It's also the only thing you talk about. If you'll excuse me, I think I saw a raccoon over in that tree and I'm feeling peckish. I don't really know what's happening here. I honestly haven't been paying attention. Oh, Illusion. Sorry, I forgot. I'm focusing on other things. More important things. One way or another, I won't be here for much longer. I don't handle rejection well. At least I don't think I do. No one's ever been dumb enough to reject me before. Yeah, the more I think about it, the angrier I'm getting, and I'm a giant rage monster. So everyone in this room should be scared right now. Turn the camera off. Of course Illusion's into me. Who wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they be? I'm thoughtful, beautiful, surrounded by a calming mist. I've also got great hair. She does have great hair. And since I'm technically dead, I'm extremely low maintenance. I'm figuring you're actually really high maintenance. Look, I don't like to throw the term anime waifu around too often, but you're an anime waifu. It's body full of pits, snuggle it. You know what I mean? What? No, you're not part of this. You don't get a confessional. It's cool, man. I'm not part of anything. You feel me? I'm not a cog in anyone's machine. I'm my own machine. The whole thing is pretty cute, though. Charmingly low budget, old school marketing vibes. Not gonna lie, kind of wish I wasn't so busy right now. I'd definitely be down with a reality show style dating competition with survival elements. But I got my new album upcoming tour, finalizing a new speaker line, producing a limited series of my life, starting a new social media NFT crypto app, and doing those private gigs over on IP Island. My dudes, you gotta come check it out. IP Island, it's dope. It's where the real killers are hanging out, fully licensed, no legal drama, lawyers. Take a hike. I'm gonna tell everyone that Trickster said that about them. Don't worry. I'm talking your favorite established characters from all over pop culture that can't be seen on this island. Hell, you probably can't even mention them, like Ghost, Don't you say it. Look, we get it. We're very popular and in demand, but we have a game to get back to. I don't want to get sued. Ghostface? Come on. Whatever, I don't even care. I'm the Trickster. See you around. You too, narrator. I have a name, you know. You do? Yes, seriously, they do not pay me enough to deal with you people. Is it my turn? What? No, it's not your turn. You're sentient water. How are you even sitting in that chair? What's a chair? It's the thing you're getting all wet. Now it's gonna smell like mildew. Okay. Rude. Fine, let's get this over with. It's your turn, Ocean. Do your check-in. Check-in? I was just looking for the bathroom. Bathroom? Are you serious? It's on the hall to the left. Better question is, for what purpose does the Ocean have to use the bathroom? It's okay. Never mind. Never mind. What does that mean? No, not you two. This wasn't meant to be a confessional time for literally every character in this game. It's okay. We don't have to confess anything. We've just been working our asses off for 2 days straight and wanted to sit down somewhere. This chair is wet. Yeah, I think the Ocean just peed on it. How is that possible? You know what? I don't care. I agree with her. How the fuck is that possible? You two are looking pretty pleased with yourselves. I've got something to confess. Oh great, what's it gonna be? You ate glue in the 2nd grade, you cheated on algebra test once. Watching Trapper get eliminated was the first time in this unending spiral staircase of pain that is my life that I've felt even a modicum of joy. Every minute that I'm alive is a nightmare. This place, this sun, this sweet sugary drinks, it sounds fun for a long weekend, but for an eternity? The unrelenting rhythm of crashing waves and wailing seagulls, it's like a crescendoing song of evil that makes me question the very foundation of the universe. Why am I here? Why are any of us here? What kind of sentient being would do this? Please erase me from this existence. Make it so I was never born. Pull the plug on this experiment and let my soul be free. And please, please get me all this polo shirt. Okay, let's get you to bed, buddy. I don't want to go to bed. Going to bed means eventually I'll have to wake up. Yikes. Huh. That was a weird way to end. Ah, well, what are you going to do? You let the camera roll long enough, someone is bound to say something crazy. Anyways, seems like everyone's had their shot to annoy me tonight. So hit the hay, get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be a doozy. I'm still stuck on the whole Ocean peeing on a chair thing. Soft sunlight warms your skin, nudging you awake. Also, you're using a killer crab as a pillow, which it's sort of okay with. What's that? You don't know about the killer crabs? Oh, right. You didn't go on that hunter state. You really missed out. It was thrilling, or I guess it would have been. You'll have to play the game again to get that reference, I suppose. You pull on your beach attire and splash water in your face. Dwight and Claudette approach. Is that look on their faces excitement? Terror. You notice your stomach flutters with butterflies. Someone's in love. Or you've been infected with zombies butterflies in your sleep. It has happened here before. But it's probably the love thing. It's time. Claudette gestures over to the beach where the killers all stand flanked by tiki torches. It's a scene very reminiscent of a TV show you used to hate watch with your ex. Suddenly the message is clear. You're going to declare your affections for a killer in front of several other killers. Hey, isn't Trickster supposed to be here? We paid him good money to make some half-assed cameos in this show. I'm going to chew his agent out. But before they walk you over for your big moment, a little birdie told us that someone in particular has an extra strong crush on you. And another little birdie reminded us that you've been kind of a dick since you got here, and we reserve the right to withhold that information, even if it leads to you making a terrible decision that gets you murdered. So, are you ready? Of course you're not. But too bad. We're on a schedule. You make your way back to the row of hotties. Claudette and Dwight stand off to the side, hands behind their backs. It's been quite the 48 hours, but there are clearly sparks in the air. I'm just talking about this rusty chainsaw, though I do recommend staying away from those sparks. It's time for our newcomer to confess their love. Wait, I have to do a drum roll for this? No, you don't, but who cares? Lucian, who do you choose for your solo date? Can we at least do the flower thing? Dwight, I thought we agreed to keep that between us. No, not that flower thing. The thing where the suitor gets his flower as a symbol of the contestant's love and affection. Oh, right, I suppose. But no roses. They're such a cliche at this point. Well, that's good, because I tried to pick a rose, but I got an ouchie, so I settled for these. They actually look really cool. Beautiful. You've done good, Dwight. This is a lovely bouquet. I hope Dwight saves some of these for Claudette. They're a thing, right? You're getting that vibe too? Just me? Sorry, you've got other things to think about right now. Who do you select to receive these flowers and spend the rest of the day with you today? You approach Spirit, peering below the rim of her impressively large hat into her haunting eyes. Spirit, since I met you, I've been enchanted by your presence. You've challenged me to be a better person and resisted the urge to show me the sharp end of your katana. For that, I thank you. I'm ready to take our relationship to the next level. And we shall, up to the eye of the dark storm that is our reality, to the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. It's time to see what you're made of, Illusion. I thought it might be nice to start the day out on Trapper's yacht before we head back up to the lighthouse. Even if I kind of hate this basic tropical vacation stuff like yachts and snorkeling or whatever, it's good for you to see me in the sun a little bit at least. There's more to me than what you've already gotten to experience. I know that my whole vibe can be a little dark. The hat, the swimsuit, the plume of floating hair. This wasn't always who I was. I was a normal young woman once. Went to school, hung out with friends. I even had a part-time job working in a restaurant in town. And then, well, I know what happened. Your father, he murdered me and I awoke as an undead Avenger. That's not what I was getting at. Something else happened to me. I realized I needed to be seen. I don't even know by whom. A lot of times when you think about ghosts, they're these kind of see-through, flickering specters. Imagine reaching out and having your hand go right through them. Oh, like that sort of thing. Maybe there's some warpy effect on the world around you. I don't know. Depends on which movie you're watching. But when I died, well, I dare you to try and reach your hand through me. Not really. That's not an invitation. It's rhetorical. Why did I end up this way? Who brought me here to this island? Who knows? I sure don't. I've got my ideas. Maybe what happened to, if I'm being honest, maybe I was granted a wish. Maybe this is me finally being something to someone. Something scary, something violent, something feared. But without a doubt, something, maybe whoever or whatever did this to me, thought they were doing me a favor. And maybe, last maybe coming up, I promise, maybe they were right. Maybe, look, now you've got me doing it. Maybe they brought me to you. Something certainly brought us together. But I'm not exactly out there digging around in caves or dusting off antiques and trying to find clues and analyze their meanings. I do want to take this experience seriously, though. I want to give the process a chance. It may be a dumb process, and one that I have extremely little respect for as a person, but you just woke up on this beach with no memory of who you are, or where you came from, and rather than freak out and simply try and swim away, you're giving this a chance. I actually didn't know that swimming away was an option. It's not. However, the fact that you never even tried, I think that means you've got courage. Or an open mind. Or, I don't know, you've stuck around. Because you like someone you met here. Maybe. While the two of you were getting all deep and philosophically flirty, the yacht pulled up to the shore next to the Black Lighthouse. Last stop, everybody off. There were other stops? Oh, no, not of this trip, of your life. Spirit rolls her eyes and leaves for the shore. I'm just messing with you. This was the only stop. Nobody here is really looking out for our fun, so we have to make it for ourselves. But no, there are no other stops. Seriously, go. Race you to the poop deck, Dwight. This ship doesn't even have a poop deck. Oh, it will. Ugh. As you disembark, you see Dwight and Claudette run giggling across the ship. Too bad you can't date those two. They seem like they know how to have a good time. You arrive at the beach near the majestic Black Lighthouse. Its imposing form towers above you. A flock of birds circles lazily, no sense of fear or urgency, as if circling a corpse that hasn't moved in ages. I'm excited about today. See? Spirit places her wrist delicately in your hand and presses your fingers down against her skin. It's cool to the touch, but you feel... Is that the faintest of pulses? My blood is absolutely pumping. So, what happens now? Now I show you something that no one has ever been seen up close before. Well, no one who has lived to tell about it. We're going... there! Spirit points to the top of the lighthouse, amongst the circling birds. What's actually up there? Have you seen it? Hey y'all, how's everyone doing today? Hi, Wraith? You sure seem chipper today. Something strange is definitely going on with this guy. Well, something else strange. Something different than what's usually going on. Wraith takes a deep breath, sucking in the ocean air like it's the greatest air that's ever been sucked. Illusion, thank you. Thank you for choosing anyone else to go on a date with today. Alone, again, forever. This is how I was meant to be. I feel alive. Are you done? We're kind of, on that date you just mentioned. I'm glad you're feeling better, Wraith, but like she said, we're in the middle of something. You mind? Oh, right. So what you doing? Heading up into the eye of the lighthouse? I love it up there. You can really see the whole island from there. In fact... Spirit, I thought you said no one's been up there and lived to tell about it. This sounds exactly like telling about it. Technically, I don't think Wraith counts as being alive. I mean, I don't maintain the canon, but... Spirit waves her arms at Wraith from head to toe. And if he's not dead now, he's going to be when I push him for interrupting our date. Or when I punish him for interrupting our date. Hey now, we can solve our problems without our hair floating up into any menacing shapes. I'll just be over here running away. Enjoy the view. I don't know. I think Wraith was kidding about that hole being up there. Honestly, the view isn't even of the island. What you can see is mostly ocean, on account of it being, you know, a lighthouse. However, that does bring up an interesting point. Regarding your, how do I say it? Spirit's hand floats up as she scratches her head contemplatively. You don't usually see her at a loss for words like this. What's your mortal status? Because despite what our lanky friend seems to think, the lighthouse is not to be trifled with. It's a beacon of death and suffering that brings doom to it from all corners of this world, if not further. Well, duh, you saw a friggin' pirate ship seemingly travel through space and time only to crumble at the rocks beneath this spooky tower, but you decided not to point it out because that wouldn't be too romantic now, would it? I think I'm alive. I'm here with you, walking this beach, feeling the water on my feet, feeling the sun on my skin. Here, with me, the spirit. Does that really make you alive? I guess. I don't know. If you come with me into the eye of the Black Lighthouse, you may never return. Is that a risk you're willing to take? Because we have something. I won't deny it. I feel it. I'd hate for you to simply turn to ash. If we were to commit right here and now, figuring this out as friends, we could put that risk off for another time. Just be friends? Ouch. Is this her way of letting you down easy? I don't know if I want that friendship. I want you. That's why I chose you. I can't decide this for you. I can only warn you that may not be safe. You might die up there, and there's nothing I can do about it. Let's go up and maybe die. I want to know what's up there at this point. You take a deep breath and think about every particle of sea air as it travels into your body and fills your lungs. It may be the last time you have such thought, but you feel strangely at peace with that information. I don't need another friend. I want something more. I'd risk my life for it. Spirit smiles a quirky, devilish smile. Right this way. Inside the lighthouse is almost pitch black. It was seemingly day when you stepped through the door, but inside this place is like a void. The last thing you see as the final rays of sun leave you is a horrible sight. A petrified body laying on the stairs, reaching not up, but down, as if it had been crawling. Watch your step. The things we do for love. When you arrive in the lantern room at the top of the Black Lighthouse, you breathe a sigh of relief. The light is out, and seemingly defunct. Dust cakes the room as though it hasn't been operated in a century. However, somehow, it was just morning a moment ago, but now it's night? What do you mean a moment ago? We've been standing here looking out over the ocean all day. I've really enjoyed the peaceful time together with you. Taking in the view, sitting in complete silence for hours. It was kinda my perfect date. Really? Well, I don't remember that. I just called it the perfect date and you can't be bothered to remember it? What kind of game are you playing with me? I want to remember, it's just that for some reason my mind is completely blank. But, hey, I'm not dead. Or you're already dead and have been this whole time. That's true. Maybe we'll never know. It doesn't look like the light is working. Even turned off, the light has a power to it. The massive lens refracts moonlight through itself. A subtle sparkle that has a hypnotic effect. That's where the day went, staring into this light as the sun fell and the moon rose. Thanks for spending the day with me. I really had a good time. That's it? Don't get me wrong, this is really cool and all. I guess I don't know what I expected. I suppose if you thought you were walking into your death and nothing happened, it might feel a bit anticlimactic. Sorry. Anyhow, it's time to go. Here, let me just flip on the light for the staircase so it's easier to get down. The stairs still look pretty dark. Maybe it... Spirit is interrupted by a strange hum, and then becomes frighteningly clear to you. This switch wasn't for the stairs. It was for the main lantern. A lantern that is now beginning to power up. This faintest smell of burning begins to reach up to your nose. Oopsie, looks like maybe that switch wasn't for the stairs lights at all. Now we see who's really alive and who's really dead. I suppose it's bound to happen sooner or later. You slam your eyes closed, hoping that somehow not looking at the light itself will protect you. Not sure I see the logic in that, but if it is magic, it kind of defies logic. I want to see it, but, well, I'm a little scared. Don't look directly into the light. Open your eyes and look only at me, and I'll keep you safe. Perfect. Missed completely. Wow, you just really looked into the light repeatedly. That's pretty bold. Not sure it was the best decision, but you've done it for me, and I appreciate that a lot. Seeing your brain isn't completely fried right now, I think this is good. You've looked into the light and survived. Despite your attempt to resist it, the incredible force of energy from the Black Lighthouse's lantern, I refuse to subside. No, it cannot be ignored. It doesn't matter if you look directly at it or not. In the end, that was just a trivial game. This is real life and real magic. You stare at it now, and its power penetrates your mind. Hey, been a while. How are things? Doing good? Feeling more dread? Or more alive? Yeah. Love will do that to a person. Don't worry, it'll make sense soon. You wake to hear a spirit's muffled voice. You've got a terrible taste in your mouth, like burnt hair. The air feels damp and smells like ash. It takes time for the sound to clear up, but eventually Spirit's words start to make sense to you. However, it's clear she's talking to someone else, not to you. You know how sometimes people say it's not you, it's me? Well, this time it is you, and it's also me. I can't believe I thought you changed for me. I can't believe I thought what you were doing was a sacrifice. You never gave up anything for me. Well, today I saw what love looks like, and it looks a whole lot different than this. I don't think you're hearing me, which is weird, because I'm practically shouting. Nobody breaks up with Trapper. Nobody. Oh yeah? Fine, nobody breaks up with Trapper. But I'm not doing that. I'm dumping, don't you say it, I'm dumping Evan McMillan. There's nothing you or he can do about it. It's over between us, Evan. Ren, Trapper turns to Spirit and looks directly at you. You realize that you're laying on the ground of some weird tunnel. I think that your shouting woke up Illusion. I'm sorry, I think I interrupted something very personal and also quite scary. I swear I wasn't trying to listen in, but I heard a lot. Probably not everything. I think I woke up in the middle. What did you hear? Just you dumping Trapper? We were never together. I mean, we were together. Wink, wink, wink. I know you're wearing a mask, but we can see your eyes. You don't need to say wink, wink, wink out loud. Another reason I'm right to have dumped you. You did not. It was mutual. The jig is, as they say, up. They know you're awake now, and you're going to have to deal with this awkward situation head on. Clearly, I shouldn't be here. You two are having a very personal conversation that I don't need to be involved in. I don't even know how I got here. Not here on this island, or here in this creepy tunnel. As far as this island goes, your guess is as good as mine. As far as this tunnel goes, we brought you here. We? You and Trapper? But after the lighthouse came on, you blacked out. On your way down, I thought you might have hit your head or something. It's hard to tell what blood is new or old around here. Either way, I wanted to get you someplace safe, and so I asked Trapper for help. It's not that I can't carry you, I just didn't feel like it. You know? I hate anything messing with my shards. Trapper, on the other hand, he loves nothing more than having an unconscious body draped over his shoulder. I could have asked Claudette and Dwight for help, but I don't trust them. But you trust Trapper. Like and trust are two different things. You might think Trapper can be a real jerk, and you'd be right. But you get what you see with him. We brought you down here because we're the only ones who know about this place. It's part of an old tunnel network that connects different places on the island. What's up, guys? Talking Island Mysteries? My favorite topic. I was just in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd pop in. Trapper, you said this place was private. Don't look at me, I didn't tell him about it. Half of the appeal of the spot is getting away from people like him. Well, geez, I can see when I'm not wanted. So, you three a throuple now, or... Because I gotta say, I really didn't get the whole trapper spirit thing. But, hey, if it's not my business, I don't stick my nose in it. We were not a thing. Nobody traps the trapper, not with traps or with relationships. And you do realize you're sticking your nose in our business right now, right? Wow, so hostile. You don't want to talk about it, you just say so. Anyhow, this tunnel has some very interesting features. If you head about 50 meters down that way, you'll find... Get out! Wraith looks around just to be doubly sure the trapper's addressing him. I was just leaving. This island is it's a lonely place, which is great for me. I love to be alone. Trapper, on the other hand, he's quite needy. And after a lot of pursuit, I finally let him catch up to me. And it became, well, I don't want to call it a relationship, because somebody really didn't want to have that talk. But we were more than friends. I dispute the events as told. For the record, I don't pursue, I stalk, and I lie in wait. Seeing eye to eye was not one of the things we were good at. So, I hate to ask, but I did just look into a refrigerator-sized death lamp, so I guess I'm more of a glutton for punishment than I thought. What were you good at? Well, for starters... Excuse me, I'll take that question, thank you very much. If you know anything about me by now, it's that I'm on a quest for revenge. Exactly what you might not know, Trapper's like a great classical maestro of revenge. Trapper blushes behind the mask. That's one way to compliment a killer. Revenge against friends who had turned their back and betrayed him. Revenge against his father for making him into a monster. Revenge against a barista who wrote Ewan on his cappuccino knowing his name was actually Evan. For someone who thinks about revenge as much as I do, Trapper is an inspiration. But they say to never date your heroes. Good advice, but I don't think that's the saying. And then you come along, Illusion. You show me that's okay to be lost, to feel pathetic, to push on when you have nothing real to offer anyone. I'm not sure where you got all of that from, but okay. You ought to mirror up to my own doubts and fears and show me that they aren't everything about me, that I can embrace those things, but not be defined by them. You showed me that life after death can be more than just an obsession with revenge and mind-blowing sex on the ground in a dark cave or a dusty old tunnel. Trapper nudges you in the ribs with his elbow. Gross. Clearly appealing to Trapper's better features has been a winning strategy for dumping his ass because he seems to be taken quite well. This whole half-assed dating show parody thing, at first I always thought it was a lame idea. What kind of moron thought there was an audience for this? But then we spent some time together and I realized there's something actually real here. And I don't want to give up on it. I don't want to give up on us. And I don't want to give up on it. And I don't want to give up on us. Listen, Illusion, while you were knocked unconscious by some minor head trauma like a total weakling, Spirit confided in me that she has real feelings for you. I took it extremely well, naturally, as I trust her and value her opinions. That doesn't mean I trust you. If you want to get to her, you have to get through me first. By passing Trapper's Test, coming to BHVR TV Sundays at 8 p.m. Welcome to Trapper's Test. Answer my questions correctly or die by my blade. Question 1. What is Spirit's real name? The one given to her by her murderous father, which she only lets her real friends call her. Well, we just heard him call her Ren, so... Well, with that, because it's the only one... Okay, you got that one. Don't celebrate yet. Question 2. What lives inside Spirit? Sure, everyone knows that. They won't all be this easy. Question 3. Where did Spirit work back when she was a normal college girl, before she was hellbent on revenge? Well, she said she worked at a restaurant. I don't think I would date a waitress. Don't tell my father I ever mingled with the help like that. He'd be so disappointed in me. Question 4. What's Spirit's favorite color? Black. Are these questions largely superficial? Sure. Maybe I didn't get to know Spirit that well. Maybe that's why she dumped. Maybe that's why it didn't work out for us. Who knows? Question 5. The final question. You got this, Illusion. According to Spirit, what's worse than being dead? Not being seen for who you are. When I pitched Trapper's Test the suits at BHVR TV, they told me there was no room in the budget for a new car to be given as the final prize for winning. So I killed them all, right there on the spot. While killing them didn't solve any of the budget problems, it sure did feel good. I'm telling you this, A, to brag, and B, to explain why the only thing you're going to win is me saying congratulations for passing Trapper's Test. Not that was some huge challenge. I mean, the woman obsessed with a giant light that shines in the dark has a chip on her shoulder about being seen. Go figure. You'll probably guess, but rules are rules, even if I literally just made them up. You got it right? So I guess I approve of you dating Spirit, or whatever. I never really cared in the first place. I was just hoping you'd slip up and give me a good excuse to wet my blade with your blood. Maybe I'll find a reason tomorrow. For now, you two have fun. Wink, wink, Trapper out. I'm sure sorry you had to endure that. What 5 minutes of questions? It was nothing. Not even that, as ridiculous and unnecessary as it was, the whole thing, the waking up in random tunnel, the overhearing our argument, the news that Trapper and I had something going on, and the stupid quiz, all of it, especially the whole Trapper out catchphrase. It's only because I actually liked you. None of it would have happened if I didn't. And I like you too, Spirit. Please, call me Rin. Rin. I didn't really feel like our lighthouse experience was completed, so there was something else I wanted to show you. Alone, up in the lantern room of the tower. Get your mind out of the gutter, Illusion. It's not that kind of game. What's that? Hold on a moment. I'm told. No, wait. It is that kind of game. Disregard the gutter comment. Come back up there with me. There's no place I'd rather be. You're excited to return to the lantern room of this lighthouse, despite all the drama and worry that's previously part of this place for you. More importantly, you're excited to be here with Spirit. Which makes it all the more crushing. When you're interrupted by the arrival of Claudette and Dwight. Claudette, Dwight, funny seeing you here. Wait, did I say funny? I meant tragic. Tragic? I don't think so. What could be tragic about family reunion? Those are always joyous occasions in my experience. Before they can explain what that's even supposed to mean, the lighthouse begins to howl a low, frightening sound. The lens begins to glow in a now familiar way. You prepare to shield your eyes in case something bad happens to you again. Now isn't the time for any reality show adjacent shenanigans. Dwight, Claudette, shield your eyes. We don't know what the lighthouse will. Now, please don't interrupt. You'd think after all this time you'd know that we've gotten your best interests in mind. Wait, what? No, of course. I don't think that I got wax in yours, friend. I asked you not to interrupt. Too late. The black light flares in the darkness and you see something horrible and strange. And the place of Claudette and Dwight are two ghoulish silhouettes. But before you can focus on them, the light passes and the two survivors return to their normal states. It's freezing up here. I should have packed a sweater. What in the hairy hell? Hey, watch the language. You shouldn't speak that way. Around your elders. Grandpa? My little Ren, you're such a woman now. They grow up so fast. What? Meet Grandpa Kazan Yamaoka. Oh, technically not just Grandpa. Technically he's my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandpa. But that's a lot of grace to say in a row. I've seen my little Ren since I watched over her from the afterlife, which when she was just a little girl. And I expect you all to say the greats. It's a matter of honor and respect. Except Ren, she can do whatever she wants. My precious little angel. But you! Oni stares at you with his demonic red eyes. You're pretty sure even the decorative third eye in his mask is looking at you. You, mongrel, you must treat me with respect, or so help me I'll be cleaning bits of your head off my kanabo. A kanabo is like a metal baseball bat covered in spikes, FYI. I'm not sure what peasant like you is doing so close to a descendant of the noble Yamaoka bloodline in the first place. Dirk, Claudine, explain what's going on to me. It's Dwight, sir, and Claudette. Remember, we explained to you that you are going to come meet with your great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter's suitor, and to give or withhold your approval. 5 greats. Great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Sir, your honor, master, sir. Dwight, he's a samurai, not a judge. Grandpa, they must have summoned you here because they think you have great judgment, and because if they summoned my father, I'd be too distracted by torturing him for all of eternity. Continue with the rest of the whatever this is. Show? Game? Experience? Ah yes, that makes sense. Only a man of my own power and magnitude can help. Self-important much? Nice to meet you, Kazan. Only my friends and family call me Kazan. Those who tremble in fear at my presence call me Oni. You're seeing a serious resemblance to Trapper, and not only the sheer size of the man that Oni is, but also his attitude. Apparently, Spirit has a type. You sure you can or want to measure up to that? It dawns on you that, wait a second, maybe you do resemble Oni. Every time you've tried to look at your own reflection, however, you become dizzy and confused. This certainly deserves more thought, but now's not the time to consider the fact that you might be some kind of hulking vampire with the first ever case of self-blindness. There's a massive samurai mad dogging you from 2 steps away. Well, you don't scare me at all, so I'll stick with Kazan. Peasant, I realize now the true person I visit is to extinguish your light. Oni waves his katana in the air at you menacingly, like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, like great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, apparently. Hold up there, Grandpops, not so fast. You're only supposed to kill them if they deserve it. First, you should get to know them a little better. Young people these days, always waiting to kill people, insisting they must deserve it. Back in my day, you did what you needed to be done because you know your nobility depended on it. In his day, for such an imposing presence, he sure is giving off serious old man yells at cloud vibes. You see, when I was a young man, we didn't have foreigners in our land. Didn't need them. We had an abundance of culture already. A little too much, if you ask me. But I didn't make the rules. The rulers did. Exactly how it should be. Literature, art, commerce, theater, fashion, poetry, puppet shows, ghost stories, courtesans, gambling, fighting, fine dining, fast food, public executions. What were we talking about? Spirit kills that are great. Okay, I'm not saying all these every time in Oni's forgetfulness. You wonder, does she even like this guy? She sure hates her father, so. Listen up, old man. We don't have time for you to lists of every activity available to a samurai in the entirety of the Edo period. Silence, peasant, you're showing your ignorance. Samurai were forbade from many activities that didn't befit the Bushido code, such as attending certain theatrical performances, for instance. Sometimes, however, a samurai would put on a disguise in order to seek out entertainment. Now, I'm not saying I did that because I had honor and a body built like an entire castle that's quite hard to hide, but clearly you have neither my honor nor my physique. You don't even know about the ins and outs of the shifting rules of traditional Japanese samurai etiquette, you fool. Ren, what would you want with such an uneducated admirer as this? I find it hard to believe that any contemporary person knows all that much about who was and wasn't allowed to do what leisure activities over 100 years ago. However, you're really not sure how to handle this massive demonic old man. I actually had a history professor back in the day, and God, he would know things like that. His grasp of knowledge was just astounding. But considering he also spoke 8 languages, not altogether surprising. Oh wait, I get it. Sweet Ren, my beautiful descendant, you've invited me here to do what you're too kind to do. Bash this jerk's head in. Claude, Doris, fetch my Kanabo. Rin, wrap your robe around this Margwolf's hands and hold him still. We'll splatter their brains on the beach together as a family. Grandpa, no, that's not why I invited you here at all. In fact, I didn't invite you. Claudette and Dwight did. Ah, yes, sure. Wink, wink, wink. This whole saying wink out loud thing is getting out of hand. Him and Trapper really do have a lot in common, don't they? I swear, Lucian has a good soul and the heart of a warrior. They fought for my love in their own way, faced down death more than once, and put up with their fair share of nonsense. Nonsense which seems to be endless. Can we, I don't know, wrap this up already? Of course, of course. Who am I to expect anyone to wait around for my approval? I've only been hanging out as a ghost and watching my bloodline be polluted by cowards and quitters for 5 generations. Just come give your ancestor-in-law a hug. Sword drawn, Oni beckons you closer. There's no way he has ever hugged anyone in his entire life. I think I'm good over here, actually. Rin, now, push them my way and I'll split them in half. The sacrifices of this usurper to the Yamaoka bloodline will surely bring us back to life and set us back on the course of honor. You're so silly, Grandpa. We both know that only one sacrifice can get our family back on track. Revenge on my father, your great-great-great-great-grandson, traitor to the Yamaoka name. The lust for violence in your voice, it fills me with cheer. I'll never forget who I am. I suppose if this is the person you want to be with, to go on your journey of bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the same cherry tree that was planted centuries ago by our shared ancestors. And if Illusion ever treats me poorly, you have my word on our family's honor, I will yield my katana and gut them like a fish. A tear rolls down from behind Oni's demonic mask. You sure you want to marry into this? And one last word of advice, my dear girl. The father stuff, don't forget it, but maybe stop focusing so specifically and obsessively on it. What he did, it was awful, but it was already done. Do something for yourself now. Just my 2 cents. Be well, Red. I will see you again soon. Now let's go, servants. Clint, Denise, return me to the stables. I assume my dragon has been fed and tended to? Yes, sure. I swear this is still better than dealing with Trapper's dad. I'm sorry if I was disrespectful of your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He seemed like a very special man. I realize I'll never measure up to someone like that. A warrior with a hell of a fashion sense. I mean, that mask. Don't worry, I would never expect you to, or want you to, really. If all I wanted was the biggest brute alive, I'd be drowned in Trapper's cave right now, avoiding his vintage bear traps. But that's not the life I've imagined for myself. This sense of abstract duty, anger at a world changing around me, a lust for blood, there's no way to live. And yet, as you now know, that is the Yamaoka way of life. Forever I'm cursed to battle against the dragon that lives inside me. Or at least, maybe I was, until now. Call me the Dragon Tamer, baby. You haven't won this game yet. Please don't ruin it. Sorry, I have no idea where that came from. I think we spent enough time in this lantern room. We should get back to the beach. The moonlight sets a romantic mood as storm clouds roll in and surround the black lighthouse. You know, the sun must have set, but if we wait long enough, it will rise again. Cert removes her sheer robe, showing you her strappy black bikini. Her pale skin glows under the light of the moon. Maybe you help me get a head start on applying tomorrow's sunscreen? Again, I mean, yeah, of course. Last time I was, well, I definitely felt more connected to you afterwards. To be totally real with you, I kind of just asked you as a goof, but I really enjoyed it. I swear though, if you tell anyone about this, I will not be labeled a foot freak. Not that there is anything wrong with feet, it's just that something about that kind of attention really gets people talking. Steady. Steady. Yes. God, that's so goddamn hot. I love feeling your hands sliding them down my feet and between my toes. My skin has never been more moist. Get up here right now. Before you can find a towel to wipe off your lotioned hands, Spirit grabs you and pulls you in close. Her lips lock onto yours. They're surprisingly soft and warm. The sensation is incredible. Clouds cover the moon, and you find yourself on the beach with Spirit in complete darkness. You feel the narrow straps of her bathing suit come undone and come to life, snaking through the air and wrapping around your body, lifting you up off of your feet. Come here, you. So this is what it feels like to fly. The Spirit pulls you close. You feel bits of glass press into your flesh. Pain and pleasure mix and wash over you like the ocean. Salty air stinging your skin as you writhe against your undead lover. The lighthouse howls. In the darkness, you're pretty sure the Spirit lets the dragon inside of her take over. If it kills you, you're sure it will have all been worth it. The clouds part just as you manage to pull yourself exhausted away from Spirit. A chunk of broken glass is lodged in your shoulder. When you pluck it from your skin, it drips blood. Sorry, I think this got stuck to me I was having the best night of my life. Spirit drags her fingertip over the sharp end of the glass shard. Keep it. Consider it a memento. I've got plenty more where that came from. Back on the beach, the other killers roll their eyes as you show up with Spirit, doing that couples thing where you walk with your hands in each other's back pockets. You know it's obnoxious, but love will do that to a person. Last day, you beautiful piece of meat. You've done so well. We're almost at the finish line. You didn't think I brought you all this way without a plan, did you? What kind of sinister body of salt water do you think I am? Illusion, Spirit, welcome back. Since you're both still alive, we can assume you had a good time. You point to the many open wounds on your body, complete with bits of sand and dirt stuck in them. Oh yeah, you could say that. I think some of those might be infected. You should really get them checked out. If you're actually going through with this, the thing you should get checked out is your head. My friend, Spirit is absolutely nuts. You won't survive a week dating her. Didn't you just give us your blessing like 3 scenes ago? You might think that she's all sad and introspective, but the truth is, she's a demon hellbent on revenge who will ultimately stop at nothing to satisfy the lust for death that courses through her veins. I can't get her out of my mind. Duh. I know all of that, and I think it's hot. She's the goth girlfriend of my dreams. You're just jealous you lost her, so you're trying to run me out of town. Well, guess what? I'm not scared of you. I'm with Ren now, and she's got my back. Literally. She grabbed her name in it with that piece of broken glass. Thank God it was only 3 letters long. Alright, we get it. Everyone was super tough. All you do is kill, kill, kill. No matter what. But we've got a show to finish, and this is the finale, so we need to hold on for just a moment longer. After all, that was the point of this whole experience, to give even the most demented killers a chance at finding love. And it worked. To think my official bio called me distinctly below average. Well, look at me now, world. I'm about to officiate the wedding of 2 complete maniacs. Please, Spirit, take this bouquet and prepare your vows. As soon as you both say I do, we can send you off on your exclusive honeymoon. Hold up. Nobody is saying I do today. Yeah, nobody is. Wait, what? Marriage is an archaic social institution put in place by men in power thousands of years ago to maintain their control on the world. I'm not interested in playing their game. I'm not interested in doing what anyone else tells me, or living by any rules I don't believe in deep down in my heart. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't remember being asked if I want to take part in this bootleg reality TV bullshit in the first place. Did anyone here agree to this? I'm still not entirely sure what's going on. Spirit has manifested her katana. In a moment, the mood has changed from a romantic climax to a place of terror. Whoa. We're all having fun here. If you just say I do, we can. I won't. Besides her blade, Claudette is now no more, replaced by 2 halves of Claudette, neither of which are especially alive. Dwight is horrified. There's a chance he actually wet himself. Lucky for him, Khaki hides lots of things. Unlucky for him, urine isn't one of them. Meanwhile, Trapper, Huntress, and Wraith are eating popcorn. Where'd they get popcorn? You were under the impression that Claudette and Dwight did all the cooking around here, so sorry, now's not the time to think about who popped the popcorn. A gruesome murder just happened. This is for you. You know what to do. Spirit hands you her katana. You look on a whimpering Dwight and feel everyone waiting for you to put him out of his misery. Look, we're on a very tight schedule. You respect the schedules, right? If you kill me, I'm afraid of what comes next, so I don't know. Could you not? Think back to that strange moment in the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse when the light hit Dwight. There was something off about it, as if he wasn't real. Or at least not really human. But is that a good reason to do him in with Spirit's katana, or is that just actually a reason not to kill him? This doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is taking control, taking it away from them, taking it into your own hands, and carving out a new destiny for yourself. Kill this pathetic worm. Kill him and join me on my mission. Together we will be unstoppable. That's quite an offer. What are you going to do? You raise Spirit's katana. And with the ease of slicing a wedding cake, you cut him in two. His dead body slumps on the ground in front of you. That was so incredibly sexy. Rin places her hands over yours and you both hold her katana, your fingers intertwined. You look to the other killers and see something new on their faces. Respect. You're one of them now. Ruthless, uncompromising, splattered with blood. A killer. My father's really going to crap his pants when he sees the two of us coming. Creepy ass seagulls. What are you waiting for, lover? You sit on the beach below the Black Lighthouse, watching seagulls devour the liver of a dead pirate who has washed up on shore. Just think about how much I love you, Rin. Well, stop thinking and show me. You think we'll ever leave this place? What do you care? I hope we don't. Ugh. Okay. I mean, it was a good game. I rather enjoyed it. What do we want to play next?